I've officially survived 5,000 days in Minecraft Hardcore, and since starting this world in 2022, I've progressed from absolutely nothing to building an entire new dimension, collecting rare mobs and items, transforming every forest, and so much more. This story is going to feature the last year of episodes from this series, so grab your snacks, sit back, and enjoy the movie. Minecraft's ancient city has a big problem. See, most people think that this is a portal, but it doesn't even work. So what if I create a working portal and then built an entire new dimension for it to take me to? So first, I need to figure out a way to activate this portal, and just using a basic nether portal is pretty lame. So I spent 4 hours designing this, a completely flawless, realistic, working ancient city portal. Totally not a bunch of maps on item frames. So yeah, we have a handful of materials to collect. So let's AFK our block duper for a bit. And now we can AFK our guardian farm. And yeah, now we can build this absolute monstrosity, dude. Hey, finally, it is done. Well, apart from the single prismarine block that I'm missing because a creeper blew me up. Oh my god, man. There we go, now it is officially done. Yeah, now we're also going to collect 4 stacks of glow ink sacks for all the item frames that we need for this portal. So, hello squids, give me your ink. So, you are not a squid. The hell? Okay, we have now fully activated this portal, and this actually looks pretty realistic, but obviously now we need this portal to take us to a new dimension. So let's map out a small 200 by 200 area, and now we just have to excavate this entire thing. I say that casually as if this isn't going to take me like 20 hours to do, but luckily I've prepped myself with a full shulker box of diamond tools, so let's get mining. Okay, I was just doing that for the meme. Half these pickaxes aren't even enchanted properly. We're just gonna use TNT. Okay, we will start with a small amount of TNT, and hopefully this doesn't blow me up. Let's get far away from this. Boom! Okay, well that seems to be kind of effective. We just gotta do it on a much bigger scale. And I've spent countless hours doing this just so I can use TNT machines. Go on, lad. Just don't blow yourself up. The heck, bro, it didn't even... Oh my god, it didn't even make it like 1 meter, man. And kaboom. And now we have a huge space to build the deeper dark. Yes, that is what I'm calling it. Very original, I know. If you guys have any better suggestions, then leave them in the comments. And now there are 3 critical elements that make up a dimension: biomes, structures, and mobs. So first, let's map out where all these new biomes are gonna go. So the deeper dark is going to have 6 different biomes, and we're going to start with this one right here by restoring what is left of this ancient city, because to be honest I feel like it doesn't make sense for this to be destroyed considering that this dimension is basically the warden's home. So the first thing we'll do is just get rid of all the sculpt that is laying around here. Let's get deep in here like we're getting in between some toes or something. That is the weirdest analogy I think I've ever said, but that is just the first step of restoration, because now we gotta basically replace all the sculpt blocks with their deep slate variants. So let's restore this main walkway area first, and we should probably get rid of these ugly destroyed structures, because in the deeper dark ugly things don't exist. I'm not sure why I'm allowed in this dimension. Oh wait, it's because I'm cute as hell, dude. But with the structures cleared, I could now start planning this biome, and what I thought would be really fitting are Minecraft's Pale Gardens. Unfortunately, at the time of making that video though, the Pale Gardens hadn't been released yet, which obviously throws a spanner into the works. So we're gonna have to get creative, and I think grey concrete and gravel should work pretty well. So let's go ahead and add those to this entire biome. And there's a lot of dead plants we can use, because I can't imagine the wardens would be very good gardeners. And these corals are actually pretty good as well, because they're not all the same like shape. It does give this a lot of variety. And finally, we can add some trees in here using some acacia logs because they're pretty dead looking to me. And maybe adding mangrove roots as leaves could work because they're pretty dead looking as well. Alright, we are done with this biome. And I think I'll call this one the Soul Gardens. But now, before we work on the rest of the biomes, we have to fix the lighting in this place because it's pretty bad. So if we dig a bunch of holes from the surface to this dimension, we can use the power of the sun to light up this whole place. But now, this being the middle biome, it's going to be the most important one, not only for the player to explore, but also for the wardens. Now, I also want to elevate this middle part here, but we'll do that right after I build a skulk farm because I'm already out of skulk. Okay, the farm is done and we can AFK this for a ton of skull clocks. Holy, these endermen are absolutely deafening. Now this is where we're going to build our main structure, a temple similar to the one in the end, because I'm unoriginal. So first we'll build the staircases that will go up to the center of this thing. Now what we're going to do here is like the typical temple corner bits. We're just going to extend this out. Now we can build this design on every single side. Now on these entrances we're gonna build like this cool arch looking thing, which actually, now that I look at it, also kind of looks like a weird mustache or something. But while I continue to build the interior of this temple, let's dive into the lore of this dimension. So many moons ago, the ancient builders created the ancient city portal, and after numerous experiments were finally able to activate it. Unaware of the dangers on the other side, however, they ventured in, exploring new biomes and building temporary structures. But then one day they heard a noise, and stood before them was the Warden. The ancient builders had never seen such power before, and so they ran back to the portal and back to safety. Or so they thought. The Wardens, desperate to protect their land, followed them and slaughtered them all. The end. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed that story. And yeah, basically the Wardens live safely and apparently very wealthily in this temple. But you know, I think this place needs more shriekers. Okay, excuse me sir, I just need to take your shrieker. You know, I must say Wardens are pretty chill, man. Like, he's not bothering anybody, although he's about to.
We've been trying to contact you.
So we'll just plonk a bunch of these down in here. Holy, this room is annoying to be in. Yeah, I'd say our temple is basically done now, but this biome is nowhere near complete, and the big problem I have with it is that it's all too flat. So what we'll do is build up some massive skulk pillars, and then we'll use that as a foundation for a giant cavern. Okay, slight problem. I built these pillars so high up that mobs are now spawning on this platform. Like, there's a goddamn slime over here. Jerry, what are you doing? So we'll have to make some small adjustments. So yeah, this is the kind of structure that we're gonna have for like the roof of this entire place. You know, similar to like the nether, there's glowstone. Here we have glowberries and shroomlights and also some rocks, I guess. Now for this bottom bit, we can just add some rocks, some vines, and all the other skulk stuff. And that completes this biome, I reckon, which we will call, what will I call this place? The Warden's Ether? Maybe that's a okay name? But now that we've got the structure of the roof complete, we can now finish all of the surrounding biomes. So we'll just start with a simple landscape. Okay, my game is very bugged. What is going on? What are these shenanigans, mate? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Wait, if this place is made up of wart blocks, does that make the trees I'm about to build wart trees? Because that sounds disgusting. But I've gone ahead and designed a couple of trees here. So, you know, this should just be as simple as copying them in. Now we need to do the skulk veins. I can't see where I'm placing these veins, dude. Oh my god, it's so dark. Ow. Now here we have a big empty space which I want to fill with a cabin, because who says the wardens can't be living cozy as well, am I right? Now before we go any further, we should add some more details to the ground, I think. So we can add a bunch of roots into the ground. We can also add some skulk blocks coming out from where the trees are. Okay, I've just made a cock and balls. Oh well. Our next issue is covering up this disgusting wall. So around the edges we'll have a sort of cliff structure, and these are the basis for another platform where we will have even more landscape and even more trees. And that completes our skulk forest biome. We'll do the roof of the biomes collectively at the end. Now this next biome is going to require a lot of mud, and to get that we can make a mud farm which is capable of generating 9,000 mud per hour, just so long we don't run out of dirt. And I'm out of dirt. Great. Well, these wardens are gonna be muddy boys. So like usual, we'll start with the structure first. Can't lie, placing mud actually sounds very satisfying. Just listen to those plops, mate. Now the premise for this biome is that it is extremely dangerous. Even the wardens don't want to come into this biome. Why, you may ask? Well, let's ask Gregor, a warden who decided to explore this biome and never came back. He just wanted to go for a swim, man. This guy looks hella derpy though. Like, what is this? Yeah, basically this biome is radiated, and we're going to show that using these glowing green pools. So to get all the lime stained glass, we can build a sea pickle farm, which we can smelt to get an infinite amount of lime dye. So yeah, these radiated pools shouldn't be too hard to build. It's just a lot of goddamn digging. These pools also need a lot of carpets, so we'll quickly build a carpet duper. Damn, this thing has some reach. Shooting green further than me on a drunk night. God damn. For the record, I've never actually thrown up while drunk. But anyways, let's fill these pools in now. Alright, that looks pretty good. I went ahead and added some more stuff around the pools just to give them a bit more detail. We should also add some wildlife in here though. And I think dead bushes are pretty perfect for this biome, and I also think that some small mushrooms could be pretty fitting. The mushrooms have really weird textures when you like break them next to each other. It's kind of annoying. Why does it have to look like some weird cookie on the inside, man? Like, what is that? I would make a pun about mushrooms, but I'm not much of a fun guy, so I apologize for all the puns I'll make in this movie. But moving on, I began to design some large cliffs around the edge of the wasteland. And while going back to base to collect more mud, I ended up finding something extremely rare. But we'll get back to that later. For now, I continued to build up the cliffs. And going back to the lore of this dimension, I decided to add in a small bunker structure, designed by the ancient builders as protection from the many dangers nearby. The cool thing about this place is that it has a secret redstone door. Oh my. Swear to God, if you guys don't think that's cool, I spent like an hour doing this. But basically this will lead us to the lower portion of the bunker, where we can have a kitchen, a barracks, and a general storage area. And this is actually a pretty cozy bunker, I can't lie. And I'd say that that rounds off our radiated wasteland. So now moving clockwise, we can start working on this biome, which to be honest, I have absolutely no idea what I'm going to build here. So it was time to take some inspiration from a mod called Deeper and Darker, which actually designs the dimension through the ancient city portal. And one of the biomes that caught my eye was the echoing forest. But before I could start recreating it, I had to place a lot of freaking blocks. Okay, what we've got so far looks pretty good. What the? Why am I burning orange in a blue file? What is this? The trees I want to build for this biome are purple though, and there are obviously no purple leaves. So I'm gonna have to use amethyst, and I only have 3 stacks of it. So yeah, I'm gonna have to do a lot of mining. Ow. What the? Where did you even come from? Wait, how is this sand floating? What the heck? And placing amethyst is hella satisfying. Just listening to it is very nice. Another thing I didn't actually realize is that these crystals give off like a tiny bit of light. Oh, we could also use frog lights. I have somehow completely forgotten about those again. Okay, well this looks pretty good so far. We need to add more trees, but I'm basically out of amethyst already. This project is not small at all, man. Hey, just like my Okay, but why did nobody tell me how satisfying breaking the crystals sound? Oh, there's music to my ears, quite literally actually. The real place that this biome is lacking though is the ground. Like there's nothing there, man. So I've got a couple of stuff here that can probably help us out. So maybe first we can add some amethyst rocks into this area. Okay, that's okay, I guess. I think also having amethyst come out from below the trees is not an awful idea. And there's also a single purple plant that we can add to this place, and that is the chorus flower. Unfortunately, there's going to be an end stone under each of them, which is hella annoying because it does not fit in this biome at all. It's just a block of yellow and a sea of blue, but
It is what it is.
yeah, that completes our amethyst forest. Yes, a very creative name. But we are now down to the final biome. So we just get an initial layer of skulk. I love how when I do that, it's like a 1 second transition for you guys. But meanwhile, I've been placing skulk for the past 5 hours. And the overall theme for this biome is going to be like a red, orangey, fiery, burnt thing. I guess that's one way to describe it. So first we'll just add a whole layer of red sand into this place, and we can complement it with some orange concrete as well, because I'm kind of running out of red sand already, so I need to start using some other blocks. In terms of plants, I think I want to use pumpkins, so let's go grab a couple of those, and we can just stack these up like this to make pumpkin cactuses. Anyways, let's move down to the underground section where I should probably light up the roof because I want to actually be able to see what I'm building. Now this is like the perfect area to have like a mini boss you drop in, and there's a mob here, but this mini boss has to be protecting something. And well, what is it protecting? A skulk recreation of the desert temple. And this temple holds a very sacred artifact which if you try and steal... Okay, well I wasn't actually going to blow up the structure that I just spent an hour working on, but you get the idea. Now where did that dragon egg go? Oh, it's right there. Okay, easy enough. But that completes this biome, which I don't actually have a name for, so I'll just leave it up to you guys. So now that we're done with all 6 biomes, we can finish off this giant mess. Holy, this is like another whole project in itself. You know what I mean? Where the dude's smiling, but behind the mask he's like crying his eyes out. Yeah, that's me right now having to place all these blocks. Yo, I swear to God, glow squids have been dying at this exact spot for the entire episode. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Come on, glow squid spawn. You're ruining this moment. There we go. Guys, we're done. We finished the roof. And I added some extra like glowing stuff just so you can actually see the roof, and I didn't spend 10 hours building that just for it to be pitch black. But yeah, that means we've finished all the biomes and we've finished all the structures, but there are no mobs in this place. Well, I guess except for that one bat that's just flying around. See if I can get this guy. Oh, okay, well I was gonna get him, but he just went into the fire. This is a 0 IQ Batman. So it's time to add some mobs into this place. So the warden is an obvious shout, but before we add the wardens, let's build some new mobs. So the first mob we're gonna build is the skulk worm, which has the ability to burrow underground and can latch onto enemies with its teeth. We'll call him Willy the worm. Okay, wait, I still have a good idea too. If we put sensors on the back, these are kind of what makes the worm like react to things on the surface. So it senses vibrations in the dirt and then it comes up to eat you. That's pretty brutal, but that is the life of the deeper dark, I guess. And another mob that we could make is one that's just kind of sat in the ground waiting to devour you if you walk into it. So of course this thing is going to have a lot of teeth. And there we go, we have our very own Skulk Sarlacc. And I reckon we'll add the worm and the Sarlacc to the roof as well. I think that would help give it some more life. But these are the only two mobs that we're going to build in this dimension, which means it's time to get the wardens. So let's get some name tags. And we'll do 6 name tags since we have 6 biomes. Hey, we're on level 69. Nice. Alright, well, here goes nothing. It's time to risk absolutely everything we've worked on just to get a couple wardens in this place. But here we go. First warden. Let's call him Warden. Oh no. Okay, I don't think he likes being called Warden. Okay, he's after me for some reason. Well, I didn't even do anything, man. I didn't even hit him. Why is he so angry? He's about to walk into the Sarlacc. He fell into the Sarlacc. Okay, well, I guess he can stay there. He's so angry. What's wrong with him? It's a warden on crack, mate. What the hell? Let's go get another one. Nah, why is bro so angry as well? What's going on? Oh my god, my game just lagged. What was that? Hey, there we go. There's warden number 3 chilling next to warden number 2. Here is warden number 4. And the final warden that we can add to this place, because I accidentally used 2 name tags on one. I just used 2 on him. That's really annoying. Alright, we've got 5 wardens in this place. Nice. Without even suffering a scratch. And I've just realized now that I've added these wardens, I can't actually build anything else, because I'm probably just gonna die. So enough of working inside of this dimension, let's work a bit on the outside. So I think it'd be cool to dig a giant hole from the surface that we can just fly down directly into the portal. Next we should curve the portal I don't think that's even possible, mate. Next we should curve the hole a bit towards the portal just so it's a smoother flight into it. Wait, I just realized this hole is not centered with the portal. Well, it's too late to change it now. So now let's decorate the top part of this hole. So yeah, just a little bit of detail to make it look a bit more natural. But to actually mark this location, let's build a couple of deep slate towers around the edges. So it goes polished, chiseled, polished, chiseled, polished, chiseled, polished. That is how this thing is built. And then we just add some fire on the top, and that is a pretty decent tower, I think. Oh god, why are there so many phantoms? Dude, why are the phantoms going in the hole, man? I need some protection while I'm in here, dude. Need some protection in the hole. Yep, that sounds about right. Oh my god. Okay, and there we go. We now have some towers to mark where our hole is. This third one is like so small, it probably wasn't even worth adding that in. But yeah, about 600 days, 130,000 skulk mined, thousands of blocks placed, and our deeper dark dimension is finally complete. Now, this project is definitely the biggest build I've done so far, and it contributes to a much bigger objective than just having a purpose for the ancient city portal. But the thing about these kind of projects is that while they're definitely worth the time and effort, they completely burn me out from building. So, putting that secret objective on hold for now, I wanted to achieve something a bit more fun. Remember that rare occurrence I mentioned earlier? That was a Diamond Armor zombie, which I killed because I wanted free Diamond Armor. Oh, a decision I definitely won't come to regret. But this got me thinking, what's the rarest occurrence you can find? So we'll start with some of the least rare things, like this large fern and tall grass. Hey, we actually got a tall grass. And then move up to the rarest occurrences, like the naturally spawning 12-eye end portal. Wait, if I'm gonna build a museum for everything I collect, how am I gonna add the end portal? I guess we could just build a museum where the end portal is, but if we're gonna do that, we may as well check all 128 strongholds, just for the 1 in 1 trillion chance that we have a 12-eye end portal in our world. Okay, first portal has 0 eyes. Nice, man. Yeah, there should be a stronghold right around here. Yep, and the big reveal, 1 eye. That's an improvement. How many eyes? 1 again. Wait, I just realized I could be doing this 8 times faster if I just use the nether. Wait, I'm actually so smart. That's why they call me Eugenius. Okay, well, let's just speed through the rest of these strongholds now. Hey, like we're speed running. Now, you guys might think I'm delusional for thinking that I'll find a 12-eye portal in my world. And you would be right, although I prefer to call it optimism. But delusion aside, the one thing I didn't realize was just how long this process was going to take. It took so long that I could watch the entirety of Squid Game, season 1 and 2, and all this for the slim chance of a 12-eye portal. Okay, straight into the stronghold, we like that. Where is this portal though? I was there. Oh, wait, there's 2 eyes already. Wait, dude, it's activated. There's no way. We have a 12-eye portal. Wait, what's that? Yeah, okay, it's fake. It would have been cool if it was actually a 12-eye portal though, right? And what would have been even cooler was if one of the remaining 36 portals had 12 eyes. Yeah, they didn't. But hey, at least I'll never have to craft iron doors again, right? So we'll head to a end portal that's close to our base, not 20,000 blocks away, and we will include this room as part of the museum. So let's go collect some quartz. Yeah, Mojang really needs to add easier ways to get quartz. Like, it took me 3 hours just to fill up a couple of shulker boxes, but that should be enough to build the museum. Alright, our museum is done and we have our first exhibit on display, and that reminds me we should probably add the first 2 items that we found. So any items that we collect will go in these glass cases, and mobs and biomes will go in these ones. So I guess first we'll get a screaming goat. Imagine being a goat, you have a crazy genetic mutation, only 2% of your population has it, and all it lets you do is this. Alright, that was just a regular bar, man. Whoa. Wait, we found one. It said Goat Bellows. One of these guys. I don't know which one it is. Yes, now that is a screaming goat. Hold on, let's hear that again. What is that scream? That is not a goat. Dude, that is legit just a man screaming into the microphone. But anyways, let's get this guy to the goat farm. Now with this guy, we won't need any of these boring, normal, ordinary goats. So I would never kill baby animals though. That's too far for me. Here we go. Okay, so breeding these 2 guys should give us a 50% chance of another screaming goat. Which we definitely got. So now not only can we get infinite screaming goats, but we can also get infinite screaming goat horns. So yeah, we'll just let these guys ram the chickens. Okay, we've gone all 8 different types of goat horns. I gotta say, I think this one is my favorite one. Okay, but now we can bring 2 of these guys back to the museum. You guys good back there? Yeah, they're fine, they're fine. So now let's build the exhibit for them to live in. We'll do a mini replica of a snowy mountain. So now we can bring our 2 goats in, and then I think we'll also just add all the goat horns onto the wall. And there we go, screaming goats collected. So now the next rare occurrence we have to find is a brown panda. So to find these guys, we can either try and breed them, or we can just try and find them. Okay, forget brown pandas, can I just see a regular panda? Like, funny story actually. I used to have dark eye circles a lot because I would wake up super early for school, and people used to call me a panda. My mum included. That wasn't really a funny story, was it? It was more of a sad story, but oh well. Long story short, surely I should... Wait, you've got to be kidding. I just found a brown panda. Okay, well that makes my life so much easier. So now let's get him through this portal. Fit through the portal, bro. Your butt is big enough to go through this portal. Damn, boy, he's there! So since this is a panda, we'll obviously make this a jungle-themed exhibit. And there we go, the brown panda is collected. Now next we need to find an enchanted golden apple. There we go. Okay, I'm just kidding. Those don't actually count because they're all found from ancient cities, but the actual rarest occurrence of an enchanted golden apple is in a mine shaft, which is 1.4%. Okay, we have our first chest. Punch 2, that's delightful. This enchanted golden apple is going to take a while, isn't it? Okay guys, we've somehow managed to find the deep slate emerald ore before the Notch apple, oh my god. Going to mine shafts in hill biomes actually paid off, holy crap. We're back to looking for the notch apple. Oh yeah, notch apple, mate. Oh my god, that took like 7 hours, not even joking. You can kind of tell I've been doing this for a while when I have 49 golden apples, 54 name tags, 4 stacks of deep slate diamond ore. Like, it's definitely worth it just to tick 2 more items off the list. Next, we need to get the skeleton horse, and I do actually have one at my base, but he looks like he's having a good time, so we'll just leave him.
Help me! Help me!
But to get another one, we need a thunderstorm, so we'll just move on to 4 chickens from 1 egg. So yeah, this one should be pretty simple. We just gotta... Oh wait, but what do I do with the failure chickens? Brand new chicken shack is open. Come one, come all. I didn't even get 1 chicken from that stack. Oh my god, we got it. That was hella easy. Wait, which chickens were not part of the 4? It was definitely you, and it was one of these knobheads. Oh my god, I don't know which one it was. Okay, I figured it out. It was this guy. Wait. Get out, you fraud. So I guess we can decorate this exhibit. Damn, my babies, they grew up so fast. And hey, while we're on the topic of chickens, for the next mob we need it to be nighttime so that we can get a chicken jockey. Chicken jockey, where are you? I feel like I'm playing hide and seek with this guy.
Oh, hello there!
Yes, finally man, I seen him. Yeah, in the boat, you bum. There we go, we got a chicken on a zombie. No, that's not right. We got a zombie on a chicken. Now it's time to fly around for hours looking for some rare sheep. Actually, you know what? Let's try something. We get a red dye and turn this sheep red, and then breed this red sheep with a white sheep. Surely this creates a pink sheep, right? Oh, it actually works. Okay, my genius is actually unmatched. We have a baby pink sheep. Okay, I mean, worst comes to worst, we'll use this guy, but we'll still try and find a naturally spawning pink and brown sheep. Boom, we've managed to find a baby brown sheep. Too easy, man. So now let's build their exhibits. And for the final edition... I can't get over how funny these look. So there we go, there are all the rare sheep collected. The next rare occurrence is a bit of a weird one. We're gonna need a fishing rod, and then we just gotta... Bruh. Okay, I suck at fishing. Well, that was quick though. Okay, that's not what I want. There it is. Believe it or not, this is a 0.1% chance. And this is also the first and last time I fish. Good riddance. So we'll go ahead and add this right here. And then what I'm going to do over here is add the deep slate coal ore. And we'll put the deep slate emerald ore right over here. So now for the next mob, let's head to a mushroom fields. Okay, we spawned right on top of a mushroom. And we can build a little enclosure. Let's round up the cows, round up the cows. Come here, lads. Wait. Be attracted to my wheat. What are you doing? But basically, when breeding these guys, we have a 0.097% chance of getting a rare brown mushroom. We're not gonna have mushroom left in this pen once we're done with this breeding bonanza. Breed, my cows, breed. Mojang, what do I have to do for this brown cow? You want me to moo? Oh man, I just want a brown cow, dude. We got a brown mushroom! We finally got him, the chosen one, the holy cow. But what does being different get you? Right into my museum, mate. Let's quickly build his exhibit. Alright, welcome to your new home, buddy. Have fun. Just chilling in here. Although I will say the fact that that took so long doesn't give me much hope for the next mob, because we have to get the infamous blue axolotl next. So we've got a lush caves here. Where are the axolotls? Oh, there's one. Okay, this is not a kidnapping, this is a surprise adoption, and now we legit just have to breed until we get a blue axolotl. This is gonna take absolutely ages. Can we get it on the first try? Question mark? No. That was very wishful thinking. Okay, hold on a second. We just got a thunderstorm. I need to quickly collect some mobs. So I need 2 charged creepers, or 3 actually. Wait. Okay, that does work, thank God. And I need to use these guys to blow up some of these mobs. Go, go, go. Yes, there we go. Skeleton skull. Nice. Oh, bro, if we could have blown up that zombie, that would have been perfect. Nice. Okay, we got all 3 of the mob heads that we need. And now we just gotta hope we get skeleton horses. May as well farm more mob heads, right? Oh my god, okay. Well, that was close. Okay, the thunderstorm has ended. That's kind of annoying. We didn't get the skeleton horses. Back to breeding the axolotls then. See, at what point do I have to start getting rid of some of these guys? Because, like, there's at least 500 axolotls in these pools. And one thing I will say, it's quite funny to put a fish in here and just watch them all go after him. Guys, we have an imposter among us. We actually got it. There he is. Come here, mate. Yeah, like, get in this bucket, man. Oh my god, I'm not gonna be able to get this guy. There's too many yellow ones. Yes. Okay, well, we're gonna have a lot of stuff to put in our museum now. So first we'll add the mob heads in here, and then down here we're gonna have our axolotl enclosure. Alright, now we can go ahead and add our blue axolotl in, and we may as well just add one of every color of axolotl in here too, and that is the blue axolotl and friends collected. But next is the full diamond zombie, which is a 0.04% chance. It was at this moment that Eugenerino knew he shouldn't have killed that diamond armor zombie. And based on the fact that I spent hours flying around trying to find a pink sheep, I don't think just looking for them is going to be very effective, which is why I have built the Zombieton Grinder 3000. It should hopefully give us a better chance of getting a zombie and skeleton with diamond armor, although I will say this thing is slow as balls, so we'll see how long it takes. And I have a question for you guys. Do you know what the definition of insanity is? It's doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Well, that was me. Because I spent so long killing zombies that I actually gave up and just gave the mobs full diamond armor. Put on the armor, mate. What are you doing? You ungrateful son of a gun. But I wasn't satisfied with that, so I kept going. I've killed 7,000 zombies, game. Please, give me a diamond mob. Guys, I'm done, man. This is ridiculous. I'm now up to 10,000 zombies killed in my world, and we did not see any signs of a diamond mob. So yeah, I'm throwing in the towel, man. It's over. We just have to make do with the fraud Bob and the fraud Bob skeleton. But next up, have you guys heard of the legend of the killer bunny? It may look cute and innocent, but it will kill you. And well, it turns out those are actually as rare as the diamond mobs, but unfortunately, they're so rare nowadays that they don't even exist. Yeah, Mojang removed it because they felt as if it was unfair for new players who might get tricked into thinking they were safe. I mean, that's just a skill issue, really. But I have done the impossible, and I have found a killer bunny. I mean, he looks like a killer, doesn't he? I mean, his name is Killer Bunny, so it must be a killer bunny, right? But at the very least, we can make this cell look nice. So we'll get a whole layer of grass, and then we'll add... Holy voice crack. We will add snow on top of all of this, and then we can also add like some mini spruce trees. Okay, this should be good enough for our murderous little friend here. So yeah, there's the killer bunny collected. The next mob we have to get is the full golden armor piglin, and based on the fact that I couldn't find these two in 15 hours, I don't have much hope for this one. So I'm gonna give myself 5 hours to try and find this one, and if I can't find it in 5 hours, then I'll give you guys a pork chop. So let the 5 hours begin. Let's see, any full gold piglins? No. Bro, how do you not have pants? Where were your manners this morning when you put on your clothes? Get some pants, mate. Here we can see a wild piglin who forgot to put on his goddamn gold armor. Come on, man. Do you guys see any gold piglins? I'm really gonna have to oink for a gold piglin, like oink oink. Sorry, I'm just getting bored from looking for this goddamn gold piglin. Fight me, piglins, fight me. Oh my god. Alright, well that is time. Shock, we didn't find it, so just fake it till you make it, I guess. So put this armor on. What the? I've never heard a piglin make that sound before. And listen, you're getting taken hostage until a actual full gold piglin shows up eventually, okay? Cool. So for this exhibit, we'll do a nether theme. Alright, piglin, welcome to your new home. Just like the nether, am I right?
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
But we've now reached the limit of what I can collect in this version, because for the next rare occurrences, we have to travel back through the older versions of Minecraft. So I'm borrowing Kalani's time machine again. He didn't seem to mind last time. And we're going to use this to travel all the way back to beta 1.9 pre-release 4. And I guess this is what my seed looks like in beta. Alright. So I am on the hunt for a Silk Touch pickaxe, which is going to allow me to collect a very rare block. So we'll get ourselves some tools. And I guess the next step is just to go straight for diamonds. Whoa, dude. The cave sounds scariest thing in the game. Hey, Diamond Days. And now that we have 4, we can actually just dupe these, because if you didn't know, this version has duping. So now I need to somehow get myself to level 30. Oh my god, okay. Well, we just found a spawner that is actually perfect, because now we can just turn this into a mob grinder and we'll get infinite XP. I don't really know how to make a good spider spawner, but I mean, this looks like it works. Oh, okay, these guys can get through. Alright, we got ourselves a proper little mob grinder going on here. Now I just have to farm up to level 30, which is gonna take so long. Okay, we only really have one shot at this, because enchanting in this version takes all of your levels. You know, it's not like it took me 2 hours to get to this point. Okay, come on, please. Don't screw me over, game. Oh, I have to do this all over again. Come on, game, you can't do me dirty 2 times in a row. I hate this game. Come on. Bruh. Okay, surely we've got to get it this time, right? Oh, we actually got it. So now what we gotta do with the Silk Touch pickaxe is mine this spawner that I've spent the last 8 hours at. And boom, we get ourselves a monster spawner, which if we place back down, spawns pigs for whatever reason. And the reason we need the spawner will become apparent very soon. But of course I'm gonna duplicate it just a couple of times. Yeah, 64 will do. And this is actually all we need from this world, so goodbye all this spider grinding, and hello to 1.12.2. And what am I doing in this version? Well, 1.12.2 is special because it has carved pumpkins that spawn naturally, and that means you can find naturally spawning snow golems. Obviously, I'm not going to find it in this world because it's a 1 in 5 trillion chance, but the 2B2T seed, yes, the oldest anarchy server in Minecraft, actually has a naturally spawning snow golem. There he is, right there. Bro is chilling. So yeah, that's a cool rare occurrence that we'll be able to add to our museum. Thanks, mate. But now we have to time travel again, and we are now in 1.16.5. But Eugenerino, where are all your items? Well, I'm on a different seed to view this spectacle. Yep, there are just 5 pig spawners in a chest. And why does this happen? Well, apparently when a buried treasure chest generates, it duplicates the blocks around it. So this buried treasure chest spawned on top of a spider spawner, which means it duplicated the spawners, but then it reset their MBT values, so they defaulted back to pig spawners. So yeah, this is a very rare occurrence, and it's why I need the pig spawners. But there are a couple more versions we have to go to. First of all, we have to come back to this world, and I now have to beat the game so that I can get a snowy grass block. Yeah, I'm not a speedrunner, this is going to take a long time. But what makes the snowy grass block so rare? Well, technically this block doesn't even exist. What? And that's because it's a regular grass block with the snowy value equal to true, which is only attainable if an enderman picks these blocks up while in version 1.16.1. You know, I've always wondered, can a snow golem still function with no head? It looks like they can. Is it mean to call them ugly? It kind of is, but why are his eyes wonky like that, man? Okay, there we go. This guy has picked up the snowy grass block. That's actually all I need. So we're just gonna leave these guys in the end for now, and we will head back to the overworld. Oh, we have to watch the credits? No thanks. Because now we have to time travel again to 1.17. And I'm here to see 2 rare biomes. And this first biome is so rare that on average it only takes up 0.056% of your world. And that biome is the mushroom biome. But what makes this biome so rare? Well, maybe the fact that it's connected to land. You see, normally mushroom fields generate as these lonely, ugly islands. But in older versions like 1.17, they can connect to existing land masses like this savanna or plains biome. Damn, this place is even connected to a village. But believe it or not, the next biome is actually even rarer, only generating once in every 370,000 biomes. And I'll be able to show you guys what that biome is as soon as I walk about 7,000 blocks in this direction. Hiya. And behold, the modified jungle edge. And for this biome to spawn, you need a jungle to border a swamp biome, and then you also need to be lucky enough for this jungle to become modified. So we'll collect some of these blocks just so we have like an authentic part of this biome. But now it's time to bring all of these rare occurrences back to my hardcore world. So to bring these items back, we'll put them all in this chest. And now basically what we have to do is replace the end dimension of our main hardcore world with the end dimension from this world. So hopefully now if we jump through this end portal, it will not be the same. So Dave is now gone, rest in peace Dave, but we'll now have all these snowy grass blocks that we got, and also the monster spawners. And before we bring the old Ender version back, we have to try and get one of these snowy grass blocks into our museum. There's only one place he should be able to place it, and it's right there. So if he doesn't, I'm gonna be so annoyed. Does this work? Okay, he should be in the overworld, so now I just have to get him to the museum. Yes, the owl, the hell? The Enderman is airborne. I don't know, how is he hitting me? Nah, this is some weird hacks going on here. What on earth? Now Enderman, I just need you to place that block right there, please. If you would just please place it there.
No.
What do I do now, man? I just have to sit here like a melon and wait for this guy. You know, we'll just build some of the other exhibits while we wait for this guy. So the first thing we found was the naturally spawning snow golem, so we'll add that into this exhibit, and we can try and replicate the exact conditions that it spawned in. So there's the naturally spawning snow golem. Next we will add the 5 pig spawners in right here. So we're going to recreate this exactly how I found it. I just realized these aren't pig spawners because you need to set a mob type. Well, that is not possible for me to do, so we're just going to close this up. The next we'll build the 2 biome exhibits. Okay, that is not bad, but let's get some mushroom cows in there too. Come on cows, who wants to be imprisoned forever? Not like you are already imprisoned forever. No, 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 no. Oh my. Okay, well, that's just unfortunate. That is the mushroom continent collected. And has this guy placed the block yet? No, he hasn't. What are you doing, mate? Well, next we'll build the jungle exhibit. And first we'll place the blocks that we actually collected from that biome. Okay, we're already out. I guess now I can just add regular boring grass. So yeah, there's the modified jungle edge collected. Now the next occurrences are so rare that you probably didn't even know they existed. Like imagine this, you're in your world punching leaves, you know, as normal people do, and then all of a sudden you get these 3 drops: a sapling, a stick, and an apple. You probably wouldn't think much of it, but this is a 1 in 200,000 chance of happening. Yeah, that's pretty goddamn rare. And it also means I'm not gonna bother trying to get this myself. Yeah, the best I could do was an apple and a sapling. Ooh, it looks like Herobrine has visited my world now. He's right there, what the hell. But at least the exhibit will be easy to build, because we'll just grow a tree in the middle here, and then we'll just hang the items on the tree like that. Cool. Yeah, we'll make it look a little bit better at least. And there we go, that is the lucky drop tree collected. And hey, what do you know, this Enderman still hasn't placed this grass block. For the next rare occurrence, I'm gonna need to collect 3 items.
Boom, bam, bop.
So obviously collecting all the horse armors by themselves is pretty easy, but if you were to find them all in one chest, then go buy yourself a lottery ticket, mate, because that's a 1 in 1,940,598 chance. Now obviously this set of horse armor is not real. I added them in a couple seconds ago, but funnily enough, I didn't even need to fake this rare occurrence, because I had already achieved it. You see, back in the first 1000 days of this world, I was on the hunt for an armor trim, and came across another fortress chest with this. And I was disappointed at the time. Nice. But little did I know that I just found one of the rarest things in the game. So even though this set of horse armor may not be the real deal, I can feel assured that this rare occurrence was already accomplished. So now this massive exhibit is going to have the craziest warp tree you've ever seen, because it turns out you can have a warp tree that looks like this. This is quite possibly the goofiest thing I've ever seen. And while this tree has never actually been found, probably because the chance of it is literally so rare, it's this number, I don't even know what that number is. But yeah, that doesn't stop us from adding it to this rare occurrences museum. So we're almost done. We're waiting on this guy still, and we also need to get the skeleton horses. So yeah, I legit just have to wait for a thunderstorm. Wait, what happened to my goats? Did they like ram themselves into the wall? Maybe they rammed each other. Okay, well, I mean, I guess we'll get 2 more goats then. Wait, I have skeleton horses here? Have these guys been here the whole episode? They honestly might have been. Wait, he's walking on water. And now it's exhibit building time. Okay, wait, I can't even use magma blocks. They're gonna die to these. But there we go. We finally collected the skeleton horse. And has this guy placed the block? No, he hasn't. Okay, well, what I'm gonna do instead, since this guy doesn't seem to want to place this block, is just trap him in this exhibit. There is no escape for you, mate. This is your home now. You know, that's almost actually better, I think. And now finally, it's time to get the rarest mob in the game. But we're not gonna try and find this guy. We're gonna use a different method. So we're gonna need a bunch of chickens and a couple of baby zombie villages. Oh, this is hard to watch. Well, he has been converted, but the big question is, can he put on a full set of protection 4 armor? Oh, no, but that guy can. Okay, well that works. So now we have the zombies and we have the chickens, but we have to get the zombies on the chickens. And how am I going to do that? Well, by time traveling to the 1 block at a time snapshot, we can abuse the strange mechanics of this version to pick up different mobs and stack them on top of each other.
What the hell?
So now using a very handy tool called MCA Selector, we can copy this chunk from our main hardcore world and paste it into the 1 block at a time world, which means we can pick this guy up. Hello mate, he's just chilling, and then we'll pick up a couple of the chickens. Oh no, he's dying, and throw him back down. Please don't die. Okay, he survived, thank god. But yeah, now we have a zombie riding on a chicken, which we can bring back by copying this chunk into our hardcore world. And if everything has worked correctly, yes, we have zombies on chickens. Cool. Wait, they lost the diamond armor though. I just got scammed to have a full set of protection 4. What is that? But we should just be able to give them another set of diamond armor. Please pick it up, otherwise this whole bit doesn't work. Oh my god. Oh, okay, we've actually got it. A full diamond armor baby zombie villager on a chicken. So for the last time, let's build some exhibits. Is this a stupid exhibit? It probably is, but whatever. Come on, get over here, get in this exhibit. Nice. That was actually pretty easy. But there we go, we have collected the rarest mob in the game. And also this abomination. So yeah, that completes our museum. I just realized we don't have a name for this place. Oh, actually, I know. Let's just quit the game real quick. And yeah, do you guys notice anything different about this title screen? Yeah, I think I bought the wrong game. What is Minceraft? Yeah, no, just kidding. Minceraft is actually a very secret Easter egg in the game, and it has a 0.01% chance of appearing on your title screen. So we'll craft some banner layers which we can put on the wall to create the Minceraft Museum. I think that is a pretty fitting name. And whoa, wait, before you guys go and comment,
oh, you didn't actually find the pink sheep, you didn't find the diamond mobs.
well, take a look at this. Oh, wait. Yes, we found a pink sheep. Let's go. It wasn't a pig this time. Oh, wait. We got a baby brown sheep. You are mine. Yo, wait. We actually got a zombie villager on a chicken. Hold on. This guy was from the 1 block at a time snapshot, so that's pretty cool. Oh my god, man.
Bruh.
Yeah, the other ones were still a bit too hard to find, to be honest. But who knows, maybe I'd end up finding some of the missing occurrences on my way to 5,000 days. Either way, I wasn't going to continue actively searching for them, because I had more projects I wanted to work on, and the next one would help contribute to that very secret objective. Minecraft currently has 9 different forest types, and they all look pretty basic. Plus, some of these forests haven't been updated in 15 years.
This is bad!
So, I'm going to transform all of them, starting with the classic oak forest. But to transform the forest, we first need to destroy the forest. So we'll grab our trusty hoe, it's time to break some leaves. Do you guys know why skeletons are so hated? Because they have no body that likes them? Get it? Because They're skeletons, no body. Okay, but why are there so many skeletons here? Oh my god, doing this at nighttime was a bad idea. Okay, now we need to get rid of all the logs. Yep, sorry buddy, they've gotta go. Okay. So now it's time to build this giant tree, which I designed using World Edit. So I need 5,000 oak logs. Oh no, the llama, dude. And I also need 7,000 jungle leaves. It's kind of ironic how I'm destroying 2 forests to make 1 single tree, but hey ho. Okay, well that's what the tree looks like without leaves. This is a pretty cool view of it actually. Should I just leave it like this? Alright, let's take a look at this thing. Oh, okay, that looks pretty good. But now we'll do some landscaping because this is just very ugly. So I think I want to have a path that connects our 2 gateways up. And then we'll do some leaves over here. Oh, no, my path. Goddamn creeper, dude. Alright, there's 1 path done, but we need to have some that go up the mountain as well. Dude, the immersiveness of this world just went up like plus 100. And right here, I have not connected the path because we're gonna build a river. Because I mean, just look at it, like this mountain was definitely a river in its past life.
What?
Alright, the river be rivering. So I think we're good to build some little oak trees in this area now. And my technique for these was pretty simple. A long thick trunk, a couple of twisted branches, and a big round bush. Yeah, that's a cheeky little oak tree. We just gotta build like 20 more of those. And we had a lot of space to cover here. So I first built some of the larger trees I designed to populate the general area. After that, it was time to fill in the empty gaps with, you guessed it, even more trees. And on top of that, I also changed the big tree, because yeah, it looked a bit goofy. Yes, I am free. No more leaves to place. Yeah, that definitely looks a lot better. So we just gotta finish up the rest of the landscape now. So we can add some rocks by this river. Okay, we've done all the rocks and there's just a pig in this river somehow. How did you get stuck? Go find a purpose in your life, go. This pig isn't gonna drown, is he? I hope not, but next we'll add some crop fields into this whole area, I think. So we can have 1 for carrots, 1 for wheat, and a very small one for beetroot, because beetroot is kind of useless. And I think a windmill would actually fit pretty nicely right here, so I have to get rid of this tree I built. So tree goes kaboom. Wait, how did the arrow stay intact? What the hell? So we'll quickly build a little windmill right here. And so this is what the oak forest looked like before. And this is what it looks like now. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, now's probably a good time to mention that I'm transforming these biomes in the order that they were released in. Which means next up is the jungle. And when I think of a jungle transformation, I'm picturing a massive overgrown temple that is protecting a giant sacred tree. So first, let's just clear out a massive area. Also, I love how there's a black sheep here. Bro thinks he's a panda or something. But next we'll build the foundation for the temple. And this is definitely the biggest temple I've ever made. Oh boy. Now we have to build the big tree that's gonna come out the middle of it. And for that, I literally need thousands of blocks. And what the hell is wrong with my jungle? There's a floating vine and there's a tree cut in half. What is this?
What the hell?
I guess I'll finish the job. Alright, it is time to build this tree. There's a cat here. Let's see if he has 9 lives. What? The prophecy is true? He has 9 lives. Well, 8 now, I guess, but what the hell? And this is how I add lights. I literally just fly up. Abo. This is probably like the stupidest way to do it, but how else am I supposed to do it really? Hey, I'd say that is pretty good. So now it's time to do some smaller custom trees. And for these trees, I decided to only build them surrounding this path leading right to the temple, because rebuilding this entire jungle with custom trees would make me want to jump into the void. So jungle trees have pretty thick trunks, and jungle trees also have like a lot of crazy branches that just come out. So we can use like slabs and fences to show that. And then once you've done that, you can just cover all these things in leaves. And yeah, we get a cool little custom tree that has skeletons spawning on it. What the heck? I need to put some lights in here. Oh my god. So let's make the rest of this path more jungly. Alright, there are all the custom trees in, but now we gotta rebuild all of these areas that I destroyed. So we'll plant a bunch of jungle saplings. Here wait, I've run out of jungle saplings. Why are jungle saplings like the hardest saplings to get? I swear to god. There's also a trident guy here apparently. Wait, there's a baby zombie drowned holding a trident. Come here, you little rascal. Oh, we actually got the trident, nice. Come on, why is this tree not growing? Yeah, I mean, this feels jungly enough. So this is what the jungle was like before, and this is what we turned it into. So now moving on, the next 4 forests were all released in the 1.7 update in 2013, which was 12 years ago. Oh my god. So we'll start with the ugliest of the 4, which is the birch forest. Dude, this hoe has been through so much this episode already. Is the unsung hero. Stay away, zombie. Oi, that's my lead, zombie. It's a zombie villager. Zombie villager. What am I doing, man? Alright, this is looking smooth. Smooth as a baby's bottom. That's a sus saying, you know. Who came up with that saying? Right here, let's add in a lake, which I'm thinking can flow all the way down like this bit. And there we go. That looks pretty good to me. But now time for the trees. And you guys may have seen the concept art for what the birch forest update could have looked like. But let's be real, you guys didn't click on this video to see me build taller versions of these garbage trees. So I've got a couple of different designs up my sleeve. So in this area we're going to build some tall skinny trees. It's like me, but minus the tall part. So something small like that, and these will be very compact. Hey, that rhymes. The second type of tree is a fallen tree, so that's pretty easy to do. And the final type of birch tree is a bit more complex. Like this tree actually has branches. How crazy is that? And it looks a little something like that. So we'll mark where all these birch trees will go. Holy, that's a lot of birch trees. Bro, I'm gonna be 50 years old by the time I finish all these. Oh my god. Yo, who said birch forest could look nice? This is actually so nice. Let's see if we can make the fat trees look as good as these ones. Hey you, did you know it took me 1 hour to build these 10 trees? Yep, that's right, 1 hour. So if you're enjoying the video, consider subscribing, because otherwise you lick trees. Cool, thank you. Back to building more trees. Which forest do you guys think looks better? For me, I think I prefer the skinny birch. It just looks cleaner, although maybe I'm just not very good at designing birch trees. But we've got a lot of detailing to do now, so we'll add rooted dirt on the bottom because trees have roots, right? I'm saying right as if that isn't completely obvious. Hey, now that we've transformed this forest, we can laugh at how ugly this one is. Ha ha ha, you ugly tree, you ugly. We can also add a bunch of flowers. The main colors I'm seeing in the art are pink, white, blue, and purple. Huh? Wait, there are no purple flowers in Minecraft, are there? I feel like these are more magenta. But anyways, let's just add a bunch in. And with all these flowers, we should also add some bees. So if I just break this beehive, I don't, oh my, okay, that's not how you get beehives, ow. Okay, we've got to use silk touch then, surely. Is this guy okay?
Ooh, piece of candy.
Oh, he is. I thought he was just like frozen in time. There we go. Hey, this is not a bee kidnapping. It's a surprise relocation. And you know what? I think that's a pretty banging transformation. But the next forest we are going to transform is the spruce forest. And yes, I know this area is not a spruce forest, but we're going to transform it here anyways. So first up, we got to get rid of all the oak trees. Hello, zombie. Oh, hello, creeper. Oh man. Okay, now let's fix up this disgusting landscape. So we'll start with this stony shore, and we'll just change it all to be sandy, you know, like an actual beach. It's also a completely random thought, but how crazy is it that there was someone called Sandy Cheeks in a town called Bikini Bottom in SpongeBob? He'd show my ass, mate. My sandy ass. Yeah, that already looks way better, but the thing is, I actually don't want this area to be grass. I want it to be podzol. So if we grow some big trees, boom. Yeah, would you look at that? Look how much podzol there is. And I'm out of saplings. Although I guess it's not like we have a shortage of trees around here. Come on. Damn, it looks like somebody just took a massive dump on this area. But now it's time to spruce it up. See what I did there? Because we're building spruce trees. Yeah, I'm funny, aren't I? So we're gonna split this transformation up into 3 different sections. The regular taiga, the huge taiga, and the snowy taiga. And yes, I mean the trees, not the animal. And starting with the huge taiga, the trees, as you would expect, were pretty huge.
Wow.
Not only were the trunks extremely tall, but the leaves were a pain in the ass to place. Meaning that this section alone took me about 3 hours to build. For the small spruce trees, I decided to make them much more compact and dense. And because these trees were much shorter and had less leaf structures, I thought this would be a quick and easy build. It wasn't. And for the snowy taiga, I built the exact same trees as before, but with the added change of making the leaves more droopy, to give a realistic effect where the snow is weighing it down. But we gotta cover the ground in snow as well, so it's time for these snow golems to get to work. Oh dude, I've started a civil war. No! No! But don't worry, because reinforcements have arrived. Oh, no, 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 no! Dude, they're killing each other. Okay, what did I just watch? Well, thank you for your service, snow golems. Even though you took yourselves out. But there we go, that's actually looking like a snowy taiga now. A snowy taiga that doesn't snow but rains. Back to this biome though, we've got to make this ground look less pooey. So we can just add all the stuff you'd find in a regular taiga forest. Why did I build so many trees? Because I've got to put rooted dirt under all of them. Oh my god. Oh yeah, and in these 2 spots right here, we're going to build some nice cozy cabins. And hey, we even got some residents. The hell? And that completes the trifecta of taiga biomes. Oh baby, a triple. The next biome transformation is going to be a bit smaller because we are doing the acacia forest now. And the good thing about acacia trees is that they're actually pretty easy to make them look good. First you create the foundation of the tree, then you can add some blocks like tough and mossy cobblestone, and then you can just add leaves in the shape of a bowl. Honestly, I'd say acacia trees could be one of the best looking trees if the leaves didn't look like they were drenched in piss, but I mean, this whole biome looks like it's been drenched in piss anyways. But yeah, let's just build more trees. Bro, I need a drink after building this tree. What the hell? This thing is massive. Alright, let's go. Okay, we built all the trees on this side, and also on that side. But I'm thinking we connect this bridge with a mountain. Wait, you know what? I'm not even gonna bother saying that again. We're just gonna run with it. Oh, I didn't really think about how difficult this was gonna be to build, though. You like that? Are you? Oh my god, this is not fun. Okay. Are you? Don't you love it when phantoms spawn during the day? Hold on a second. Have I nailed this? Yeah, you know what? I think I've nailed this, mate. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, that is nice, mate. Look at that nice arch. Should I add guardrails? Nah, honestly, if you pull off this thing, that's just natural selection. he says as he jumps off it. And believe it or not, this is all that I had built for the acacia forest, which I've just realized while editing is pretty boring. So I decided to come back to this biome and add a couple more details to really bring this place to life. And the first thing this forest needed was some animals. So taking inspiration from real life, I add animals that you would actually find in this setting. After that, it was time to add the usual stuff, like rocks, bushes, ponds, a path, as well as a small campsite and outpost. And with all that, the acacia forest transformation was complete. So moving on to the last of the 6 OG forests, we've got the dark oak forest. And we're gonna go with a fantasy vibe for this one. So yeah, first we'll get to terraforming this whole place. Oh my lads, can you chill out please? I'm trying to build a lake here. God, so disrespectful. There we go, that looks pretty good for now. We're gonna use these paths as like markers for everything else we'll build in this biome. So we'll start with the main structure for this place, which believe it or not is not going to be a woodland mansion. Dude, I hate placing terracotta in. It's just, how do you get the right orientation on this thing?
Bruh.
There we go. Although that side doesn't exactly look the same. Oh well. Honestly, this might be one of the best builds I've done. And with shades on as well, it's just like, oh my, it's beautiful. Turn that off though, because my computer's gonna blow up. Let's go ahead and start building some of these dark oak trees. So obviously dark oak trees are pretty thick, and then the leaves are also very just like small and wide. Ow, seriously skeleton? Wait, how am I gonna fit more of these trees here though? Yeah, those are pretty cramped, but I mean, I guess that's what a dark oak forest is supposed to be. Kind of reminds me of penguins when they like huddle together to stay warm. I've cracked the case. Dark oak trees are just cold. Now, in between all these trees, we're gonna plant regular trees as well, not custom ones because I'm lazy. And we're also gonna build some mushrooms. And I'm not gonna make a mushroom pun this time, I swear. So there we go, that's the red mushroom. And where am I gonna build a brown one? Should I just build a brown one right next to it? Sure. Wait, does this mean I need to transform the mushroom field too? Nah, that's not a forest, right? Alright, well, time to add mushrooms. And we're going to be building many mushrooms of different colors and sizes. This is the all-inclusive mushroom dark oak forest. There we go, we got some green toads. We got blue toads. We got some yellow spiky toads. We got orange toads. And we got a toad that's been snacking on too many Goombas because he a big boy. I don't even know if there's other toad colors apart from red. That's the only one I remember from playing Mario on the Wii. That stuff was absolutely goated, man. Okay, now we'll just add a bunch of leaves and foliage to this whole area. Nope, that's an unfortunate placement. Did not mean to make a dong there, but we did. Alright, I think that's enough detailing, which means we have now finished the dark oak forest transformation. So the next forest on the list is the mangrove swamp, which I don't really know if it counts as a forest, but the majority of you guys say it does, so you guys know the drill. It's time for me to sit in silence and break some leaves. Oh, there goes another hope. Okay, surely this is enough mangrove leaves, right? That means I can just break the logs. My life just got 10 times easier. Yippee! Hello, sir? What are you doing there? Why is Pro just in the tree? So the next step is going to be to build a giant rock in the middle of this whole thing. So we'll go ahead and get a circular outline of stone. Why are there so many lily pads in this place? So I think I'd like the first couple layers to be like mud, and then it'll move to stone, and then it'll move to moss. Is it a rock or is it a boulder? I do not know. So now I'm going to attempt to build a very complex system of mangrove roots around this island. Oh my god, man. Why is there a wandering trade here? Sorry, my mouth is full of food. So now all of this has been basically mangrove transformation. So for the swamp part of this transformation, we're going to build a brand new witch hut right on top of this little rock. But now we're gonna build some custom mangrove trees. So get all these ugly mangroves out of here. What the hell is this vine? What the hell is that vine? This witch be doing some mad sorcery here. I don't know what's going on there. So for these custom mango trees, I changed the one thing I disliked about the regular mango trees, and that is the fact that they're too short and they're too square.
What do you say for me for?
And just as the regular mangrove trees were to break, these new custom trees were annoying as hell to build. Oh man, these are gonna be so annoying. I have to bridge out to like each individual droopy leaf. My god, leaves. Why do you have to be so down, mate? So depressed. What the hell is that phantom doing? Bro's having a seizure over there. What the heck? So I guess we'll just add some stuff to the water just to beef it up a bit. So we'll add carpets just on the water because these are like algae pools or something, I guess. Skeleton, please. I'm having a hard enough time placing these as it is. Bruh. Oh my god. You know, I just realized if there's big mangrove roots here, then there probably should be like a giant tree here as well. I guess for lore reasons, we can just say this witch cut down the tree. Witches be doing witch things, cutting down trees apparently. Alright, and I think that completes the mangrove slash swamp transformation. So the next forest on the list is the cherry grove. And for this transformation, I'm gonna need a lot of blocks. The first material we need is a bunch of cherry leaves, which, I mean, we can easily get just from decimating this forest. Dude, breaking cherry trees is actually kind of relaxing. It's just like softness in my ears. This is definitely not going to be enough though to get 6,000 cherry wood, so I think we're going to let the machines do the work for that one.
You lazy motherfucker.
We also need a bunch of pink stain blocks. Yes, give me all these PPs, mate. So there we go, there's all the pink glass we need. There is all the pink terracotta we need. And there is also a camel. Look at his bunda, mate. There is all the pink concrete, and finally there is all the wool. So now what we're going to build is a giant cherry bonsai tree. Dude, this is hella cool, but that might be one of the most annoying things I've ever built. We haven't even gone to the leaves yet. Oh boy. Dude, this is nice. Although I will say the side profile is a little bit goofy. But we got one problem because do you guys see a forest anywhere? Because I don't. Yeah, I don't think one big tree classifies as a forest, so we've got to build a couple more trees. And I'm actually going to design one right now because I feel like this whole episode has just been me following schematics the whole time. So I think just a small, simple tree with maybe 2 branches kind of coming out from both sides. Yeah, we've definitely done something with those branches. I think that looks okay. So now we add leaves, and I can already tell this is going to be the really annoying part. Yep, that's why. Mate, for a tree that's taken me about 40 minutes to build, this is pretty good, I can't lie. So now on to bigger and better trees, aka ones that have been pre-designed by moi. Why is there an oak tree here? Bro thinks he's a cherry tree. Get out of here. So now we're just going to make this place a bit more lively. So we'll add a couple of moss blocks around the base of the tree. Dude, what is this like long schlong right here? Let's get rid of this. Then next I think we'll build like a path that goes around the bonsai tree. Yo, yo, yo. Not again, creeper. Not again. Mate, that's a cheeky little bench right there. Let's add a couple more of those. Hey, it's a bench and a stove. Wait. Get in there. Oh, and maybe we should add like a little pond here. In you go, lad. And here's a friend so you don't get lonely. And for the finishing touch of this place, we're gonna add a Japanese style gate, which I actually learned is called a torii gate, which is pretty cool. And you know what? That is not too shabby. So yeah, that means we have finished the Cherry Grove transformation. This is a very nice. So the final forest on the list is the Pale Gardens. But a slight issue because I haven't even updated to that version yet. So we'll just quickly use the time machine Cool. And now it's time to get on the hunt for a pale garden. Whoa, whoa. Okay, my elytra just broke. Yo, is that it? Oh, that is actually it. I thought that was a mountain. Although I will say the fact that this is on like a big hill is not exactly good for what I want to build. So I'm gonna have to find another one, unfortunately. Okay, I mean, this one isn't too bad. You know, it's a perfect shape, perfect size. What else could you ask for, really? So you know what that means. I like how Mojang has probably spent weeks working on this update, and the first thing I'm doing to it is transforming it. Mojang probably despises us hardcore YouTubers, man. Oh, actually, what's the deal with these creakings as well? I wanna find one. So are these guys like hostile, passive? What's the dealio, mate? Wait, hold on. If you stack like a bunch of creakers, can you just have like a bunch of them following you? Hey, come and do the conga. I don't know the lyrics. Bam, bam, bam. Okay, turns out this area might be a bit too small, so I went and cleared another whole forest, but it turns out that didn't give me enough wood for what I want to build, so I went and built a tree farm as well. So now for this build, we've got to flatten this entire area, and now that this is a bit more flat, we can start working on a big rock formation. We use tuff and stone and cobblestone, because these are the most rockiest rocks I could find. Okay, you guys are probably looking at this like, what the hell are you building? Trust me, let me cook. Okay, hopefully now this makes more sense. We've got these big rock formations that are going to be surrounding another giant tree. Yes, I am definitely obsessed with building giant trees. And why the hell is there a wandering trader in there? What is he doing?
Hello there.
Now this tree is a little bit different because there's actually going to be no leaves on this one. So all these bits on the top are kind of just dead branches that come out further. Okay, thanks phantoms. Dude, honestly, getting attacked by phantoms while you're building should be considered a form of torture. This is absolutely brutal. Oh my god. Now, I also need some resin for this tree though, so we're gonna have to make a resin farm. I think now I can just punch him, and yep, there we go. We get free resin. Man, I've never clicked so fast on my mouse before. This tree is getting there, mate. Whoa, wait. I just realized they added toes to this guy. Why did they add toes to a tree? Man's toes are kind of crooked, to be honest. I think you need to go see a doctor, buddy. Oh, that's a pretty appropriate reaction to getting punched in the crotch, I guess.
Now that's a lot of damage!
And you know, that's a pretty decent amount of resin, but I don't think this is enough just yet. Wait, I'm actually dying because I'm punching this guy too much. Look at what you've done to me, Creeker. This is all your fault, dude. How could you do this, man? I can't believe you would do this to me. So obviously we're going to add some of these resins into the tree. And because this tree is like a giant creaking, basically, I also want to build like a giant creaking heart that fills in this hole right here. So if we actually use like the creaking heart as reference, there's a bit of a gray outline. Then the next layer in is a bit of a darker orange color. And I guess now we can just fill the middle bit with these resin blocks. And yeah, now I just need more resin blocks to cover the rest of the tree. And while I waited for night to get more resin, I decided to add some smaller dead trees as well as more rocks into the environment. So you know, I'd have something to do while I wasn't beating some wood. Okay, we've actually got quite a lot of trees in here now, and also a bunch of creakings. This place is looking lively. For a dead forest. It's a paradox, but it's also very grey, which I don't really like. So we can grab some of these flowers, and these obviously only sprout at night, which is a bit annoying. Dude, I'm getting bullied by every single mob right now. What the hell? Just let a man build in peace. We can also add a couple of other flowers in, and that completes the final forest transformation, the Pale Gardens. This is perfect. But do you know what else is perfect? Because Mojang have finally released a forest update. So let's go see what kind of new stuff we can add to our already transformed forests. Hey, there it is. We found some new stuff already. This is leaf litters, right? Yeah. Oh, and this is a new thing as well. What is this? A bush. Now let's see if we can find a birch forest. I believe they have some new stuff as well. Oh, is that new stuff? Oh, it is. These are the new firefly bushes, I think. Let's see. Oh my god, what is that? It's a new pig. It's a bit of a weird color for a pig, isn't it? But I mean, you do you, man. Oh, Wait, yes, this is what I'm looking for. Wildflowers. Dude, these are actually hella nice. This update is pretty cool, I can't lie. Honestly, Mojang should do more of this. Why not just add one petal for every color? That'd be pretty cool. So let's go back and add these into our biomes. Yeet. So first, let's go ahead and add these wildflowers into the birch forest. These are low-key actually like perfect. I feel like yellow is the one color this biome really needs. Next, we'll add a bunch of leaf lettuce. Oh, and we'll also just add all these bushes in here too. The bush. Now, with these bushes, I don't exactly have many left, but I think if you bone meal them, yes, it duplicates them. Nice. And I'm pretty sure you can also do it with the firefly bushes. Yep. I have no idea what these firefly bushes actually do though. I think we're probably gonna have to wait for nighttime. And is this what they do? Just give out little particles? I mean, that's pretty cool still. But after 500 days, with all the forest transformations officially complete, we move ever closer to completing our objectives and reaching that fabled 5,000 day mark. But did you know there was actually a forest I missed? It may not look like one, but given that it's called a flower forest, I think it needs to be transformed too. So first we have to locate a suitable flower forest, because this place just ain't it. The problem is all the ones I looked at on Chunkbase are about 5,000 blocks away. Here we go, we found our first flower forest. This is decently sized, and honestly, I'm already ready to say that this is the one. So, first things first, let's just get rid of all the regular trees. Hey look, I had to destroy another forest for the 10th time. Ow. Oh my, what in the 360 70-20 no scope was that? Another thing I like about this location is that it's surrounded by water. Well, mostly surrounded by water. So what we'll do to fix that is just dig a big trench right here. Donkey, get out the way. Oh yeah, and in case it wasn't obvious, I'm basically just turning this into a big river. Which, speaking of, if we add some water in... Ow. Okay, now this is an island. That is what I like to see. So the first thing I like to build, transform this place, is a bunch of hills and mountains. So first I'll build an outline for where all these hills will go. But obviously mountains aren't flat, so we gotta build these up a bit. Oh no, you've got to be joking me. No phantoms, oh my god. Ow. So we're gonna have two big mountain areas right there and also right there. So we just gotta fill in the walls. We'll start them with some stone and andesite, and then we'll start adding some dirt blocks in, and then on top of that we start adding the grass in. But yeah, that's probably like 5% of what we've got to do here, so let's get building. The hell is that noise? What on earth? Hold on, I've never seen this before. This guy has a loyalty trident. It's Poseidon, mate. And he's just been shot by an arrow. Been 4 hours since I started building these cliffs, and I've just finished the base of this one. Yeah, this is a lot, huh? But now we're gonna cover these bits in grass so that we can work on the upper section of this area. Touch grass, people said. Touch grass, I am. But yeah, onto this one now, I guess. And I think you guys have seen enough of me building cliffs and mountains, so let's just finish this one off. Yo, this is hella nice, dude. I really like how these mountains turned out. And you know, we should probably actually name this island. So what if we call it the Blooming Isle? Because you know, it's going to be a flower forest transformation and flowers bloom and stuff. You know when you have to explain the joke? And the Blooming Isle is going to have a lot of different attractions. What we're going to do is split the island up into separate sections for each build. So start with this area, which we're going to turn into a giant pond. And this is where the big hole that was here before is going to come in really clutch. Because if we break all this dirt now, we've got ourselves a proper little pond here with big caves and spikes even. Feels bad for all the mobs in this cave, dude. They all got hit by like a massive tsunami basically. But now we can start decorating this pond. So we'll start by adding a couple of small beaches. What are you looking at, sheep?
Me? Just hanging around.
And then on top of the pond, we're also going to add some little water lilies. Okay, those don't look too bad. We've also got a white one over there because apparently white ones also exist. Inclusivity, mate. Then on the edges of the pond, we're going to add cattail flowers. I don't really see the relevance to cats, but I don't know. I'm not a plantologist or something. Anyways, this pond is looking pretty good now. So let's move on to this little cave hideaway, which at the moment I'm just using for storage and my nether portal. But I think we can at least put some effort in to transform this place too. So now for the last part of this pond, we have to head up to the arch and we're going to fill this thing in with water. So yeah, hopefully this water falls in a good way. See why I did that? So yeah, that completes the pond. Yep, that is what I'm calling it because I can't think of anything else. So the pond. So now let's move on to this section where we're going to build a village. But these are not going to be ordinary village houses. They are going to be pot houses. That's a bit of a questionable name. I just realized it's a flower pot house, alright? So yeah, now we just gotta build a couple more to turn it into a village. Mate, this house got the Squidward nose treatment going on there. What the hell? Which is basically just a dong, if you think about it. SpongeBob, yet again, not being kid-friendly, but let's not ruin people's childhoods here. Right, so these are all the pot houses that we're gonna build, I think. Why is there a creeper on this one? Oh my god, that guy was hella close to blowing up. And one idea I had for this transformation was to build one of every flower that's in the game. And yeah, using these flower pot houses, we can knock a couple off the list. So first we'll build a blue orchid. I'm not gonna say it, dude. I'm not gonna say it. There we go, that's our recreation of the blue orchid. Now next we'll do a pink tulip. There's a little pink tulip. Next we'll do an oxide daisy and also a red tulip. And for the last flower we'll do an azure bluette. And yeah, I don't think I'm going to add plants on these pots because I don't want to overcrowd this place with flowers. But yeah, now we can actually make this place look like a proper village. What the hell? How do you have gold armor? How? Okay, so we'll start by building a path to connect all the houses together. And next by this river we can add some flower market stalls. These guys got a monopoly of flowers going on here. Then here we'll do a dock. Okay, how many phantoms are there on me right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What the heck? What is this? Oh my, no, this is bullying. This is actually just bullying at this point. And kaboom! Nice little dock right here. Now right here we're going to build a flower fountain. And we don't have any orange flowers in this place yet, so let's make this an orange tulip. So that's the plant, but if we put water here, hopefully, oh no. Okay, this should work now. Took me so long to do that, it's already nighttime. Okay, I think this is pretty good for a flower village, but there's just one problem, and that's the fact that it's a ghost town. There's nobody here, mate. So what kind of residents would a pot village have? I'm thinking gnomes. So first we'll come to the paths that lead out the village and build some little gnome statues right here. There we go. These guys are like the guardians of this village. If you want to get into this village, you got to pass this guy. We also got to have gnomes like walking around and stuff. Okay, what in the Cyclops looking gnome have I created here? What is this, man? Okay, maybe instead of trying to build the gnome, let's use an armor stand, and then we can use leather armor to kind of mimic the gnome colors. Yeah, there we go. We've got some residents in these houses now. That's pretty good. So that completes this section, which we will call Pottopia. So now moving on to the next section, we're gonna go with a bit more of a magical fairy theme. But the first thing we're gonna build is a giant tree. And this tree is not gonna be as big as the ones from last episode because I want this to be more complementary to the biome and not overpowering. Hey, that is a good looking trunk. It just needs some leaves now. And for the leaves, I decided to go for a purple and magenta theme. Not only to create a magical vibe, but also to make up for the lack of purple flowers in this biome. Now next we're going to add a bunch of candles that are hanging underneath the tree like this. I could really use a happy ghast right about now. This is going to be so annoying to do with just dirt blocks. Bro, I just spent 45 minutes placing candles in. At least it looks good. And then I'm thinking probably just under this leaf we can build another pond. I'm not really sure what this thing is supposed to be, but helps make it look magical, you know? So now I'd like to start adding some structures into this area. So right here we'll make some sort of hanging hut. That also helps to fill in this empty gap there, which is nice. Now next I'm thinking up here we build some kind of like fairy cottage. And I would have loved to show you guys me building this, but being the numpty that I am, I paused my recording and forgot to unpause it.
I am stupid.
But after finishing this cliffside with some mushrooms and foliage, we can now move on to these spaces. And we haven't done any flowers in this area yet, so sticking with the purple theme, we'll build some custom alliums in this area. This is like the allium patch or something. It's actually not a bad name for it, the allium patch. So if that's the allium patch, then I guess we'll turn this into the mushroom patch. So real quick, we just need to farm a couple of mushroom stems. Oi, mushroom, grow. I guess he doesn't have mushroom to grow. And now we can build 2 small mushroom houses over here. Bro.
Hello there.
Okay, how's that for 2 mushroom houses? Pretty good, I think. But to finish this place off, we'll just add the usual small details. So yeah, that's a pretty cute mushroom patch, which completes the fairy sanctuary. Another unintentional rhyming moment. But now it's time to move on to this section. And this whole bit being on top of this hill, I think it's perfect for some sunflowers. These actually look very nice, I can't lie. Good job me for building some nice sunflowers. But there is another yellow flower we can build. And there's actually 2 types of dandelions we're going to build. The first one is the classic yellow dandelion, which is just a ball and a stem. This is peak laziness right here. But for the second type of dandelion, I need a lot of cobwebs. Oh yeah, now that is the jackpot. This is what I need, baby. Ow, spider, that is not what I need, please. Okay, 7 stacks should be good enough to build at least one of the flower that I want to. So we'll start with the stem, then we'll build like a little seed thing, and then lastly we add the cobwebs in. There we go, we've got ourselves a dandelion. You know, the one that you like blow on and all the stuff just goes absolutely everywhere? Yeah, that one. So yeah, did somebody say more dandelions? Oh my, I hate cobwebs. It's the forbidden lollipop. Not that I used to eat these or anything. Yeah, I think those are all the cobweb dandelions we're gonna build. Now we can go back to building the yellow dandelions. Thank God, because cobwebs are so annoying to build with, honestly. And we may as well just add even more yellow with these wildflowers. Sup, cow? Wait, these are technically flowers too, right? I guess I can build bigger versions of these? Yeah, you know, that actually looks pretty nice. We got like a very white and yellow theme going on here. It's the new parody, mate. White and yellow, white and yellow. That's so stupid, man. And I think we are done. We will call this place the Sunflower Crest. And that means we've got 2 sections left. And we're mainly just going to be building the flowers we haven't transformed yet. But let's start with something a bit different. So we'll just flatten this hill a bit. Sheep, what are you doing? Gerald, that's your name now, get out the way. And we'll replace it with a giant mound of dirt. Oh wait, I just realized if I build this out of dirt, it's just gonna turn into grass. Whoops, okay, hold on. We're gonna have to use coarse dirt then, that's a bit annoying. Okay, and there we go, we've got ourselves like a little ant hill. So now we need the ants. So I think we'll build a line of these going like up to here. Choo-choo, all aboard the ant train. We've got some very dodgy looking ants right here. And also one that's just lost. They call him Jeremy, mate. But the rest of these ants are all traveling off to get food from a flower. And that flower is the lily of the valley. And for the rest of this area, we'll just fill it with like these giant grass stems. These are a lot of reeds, man. We ain't talking books over here. That was the worst joke ever. Yeah, I feel like this looks a little bit weird. Maybe if we change the ground to be a bit more like dirty, it might look a bit better. It's kind of crazy how much of a difference that's actually made. And now all that's left to do is just add the flowers. So we'll start by building a pitcher plant right here. And this one is going to be an exact replication of it, which is why I'm using diamond blocks in it. So yeah, that's the pitcher plant complete. Now we'll move on to this hill over here, which we're just gonna completely cover in flowers. I am building a lot of flowers this episode. Who would have thought, mate? Gotta check these flowers from all angles. They look pretty good. Wait, I just realized we haven't even built anything in these parts. Oh, and you know what would be perfect here? The Wither Rose and Eye Blossom. So let's go collect some of those flowers real quick. It's been a while since I've mass murdered snow golems. In you get, boys.
Wait.
Okay, with a time to die. Okay, that's not good. My temple's getting destroyed right now. Die, Wither, please. That could have been really bad. Bro, Dave could have escaped right there. That would have been like just game over. Okay, so we'll build the Wither Rose around here. So maybe we do an obsidian core and then coal blocks on the outside. It looks like I've given this one like arms or something. I don't even know what kind of pose he's doing right now. This rose is looking zesty. And then I guess we'll also just make the ground look super dead because like the Wither Rose is sapping all the life out of this place. But yeah, that's the Wither Rose complete. Now we'll do an Eye Blossom in this section, and we'll do an open Eye Blossom because the closed one is just kind of lame. Yeah, I think that's good enough for an Eye Blossom, and that means we are done with Ant Valley. We are in the end game now. One section left and 5 flowers to build. So I need some purple blocks if I have any. Great. We also need some frog lights and some pink glazed terracotta. And now we just gotta build the flowers. Wait, there's just an Enderman like camping under this flower. That's kind of cute. This is Paul reincarnated. They call me the Minecraft florist, because damn, this looks good. And we've also finished every single flower now. Wait, I forgot the pink petals. But are those really a flower? Like, are they really a flower? Now we've just got one spot left right up here where I'm thinking we build a gazebo. Let's just start by mapping out where the pillars will go. I think we'll probably have the floor be on this level, and for the roof we'll use pink terracotta like we did for that house, and we'll try and make this as circle shaped as we can. And there we go, we've got ourselves a gazebo. Now that rhyme was intentional, it was just there for taking, you know. But we are now done with this section, which I'm gonna call Flower Mountain. Because once again, the creative juices are running low. After all, we have just transformed an entire island, but we are not done just yet because we can't have a flower forest transformation without bees and butterflies. And we have built some bees before, so we'll just copy this and then paste them in. And I've also got a couple of bees nests that I can place in from when I destroyed this forest like 200 days ago. Welcome back, bees. It's been a while. So now for the butterflies, we're gonna need a bunch of stained glass. And yeah, these butterflies are going to be pretty easy to build. The difficult part is just figuring out where to put them, basically. That's probably good enough, a pack of 7. CR7 so. But finally, after 300 days of work, the Blooming Isle is complete. Hey, good to see Gerald is still hanging around as well. And actually, speaking of mob names, meet Bob the Conqueror and your boy Norbert. So now with the final forest complete, I was ready to take a step back from building. And earlier in this adventure, I completed the demanding task of collecting some of Minecraft's rarest occurrences, which is cool and all, but there is another challenge that I should have tackled first. You know those videos where people collect every single block in Minecraft just to store them in a giant museum? Yeah, those videos are pretty cool, but what if instead of a museum, you dug a giant hole and recreated Skygrid with every block in the game and challenge yourself to beat it in your 4,000 day hardcore world? Now that would be pretty cool. So first let's build the outline of the hole. And yeah, this thing is 272 by 272. So yeah, pretty big. Pretty big. And to clear a hole of this size, we're gonna need a better machine than this. Yeah, this time we need a world eater. But eating worlds is pretty complicated, so let me explain how it works. A world eater is essentially a big automatic flying TNT machine that digs holes Stanley Yelnats would be proud of. But for it to work properly, you first need to dig trenches on each edge of the perimeter. So now we have to build the trenchers, which are basically just flying machines that automatically lower themselves down. Oh yeah, there we go. And the cool thing about this machine is that it should also create a smooth wall. Not that we really need a smooth wall, but I guess it's nice to have. So yeah, we just gotta check these every once in a while for water. Sorry, glow squids. You were gonna get blown up by TNT anyways, so... But otherwise, we just wait for them to reach the bedrock. Dude, these trenches with the smooth wall is actually so clean. Like, just look at it, man. It looks beautiful. But now it's time to build the World Eater. Okay, that's one half of this thing done. Now we gotta do the return stations on the other side. And if you're wondering where I got all the materials for this thing, well, I built myself a raid farm and an oozing slime farm. But it should be ready to go if I press this note block. Hopefully everything works correctly. The TNT is dropping down and the sweepers at the bottom are going in. Bro, that is terrifying. Imagine just seeing that coming towards you. It's GG. What are you supposed to do? But time to sit back and do absolutely nothing. Well, until we reach the end portal, that's where we're gonna run into a couple of problems. But as it turns out, I would run into problems long before reaching the end portal. So this entire machine is basically broken now, and yeah, I don't know how to fix it because I don't know how to do redstone and I don't know how flying machines work, so I think my only solution is to rebuild this whole thing. So yeah, if this doesn't work, then I'm just gonna cry because that took so long. Well, we'll see if everything runs smoothly until we hit the end portal at least. Yeah, we have been stopped by the end portal. Now normally what you do with these obstructions is you break them, but we can't do that because I don't want to break this end portal. So what we have to do is rebuild the machine, and now the machine should have no problem just going under the end portal. Alright, we should be good to go until we reach bedrock. Although occasionally I am going to be stopping the machine just to mine diamonds, because if I'm destroying this whole place, I may as well get rich while I'm doing it, which was definitely worth it, by the way. But yeah, now we have to break all the bedrock, and this is actually going to be pretty easy because you see there's this command called /fill. Of course, I'm not going to use that because it's cheating. So yeah, what you're seeing right now, it's just a texture pack. But if we fly to the middle and change our render distance down to 4, yeah, this should work. And before we start collecting every block, we first need to lay the foundation of the SkyGrid map, which, if you are not familiar with, is essentially millions of one-block platforms, each 3 blocks apart. But for this challenge, the map is unfortunately restricted to a size of 89 by 89, because any bigger, and well, it wouldn't be very realistic. Bruh. Okay, slight issue. I don't have any dirt left. We're not even 2 layers in. I need a block that's easy to farm and also easy to break. Oh, maybe Skulk could work pretty well. So let's just farm some Skulk blocks real quick. Each shulker box of Skulk that we get is 1 layer on the sky grid. So we're probably gonna need like 20 shulker boxes. So yeah, we should be good to finish this thing off now. Alright, the SkyGrid foundation is complete, which means we can now move on to phase 2, collecting every single block in the game. And to make this easier for myself, I decided to spend 4 hours categorizing every block in Minecraft. So first we'll start by collecting all the wood types, and for each wood type there's a total of 15 blocks that can be made. But I'm sure you guys are already seeing a problem with this, and that is the fact that we can't place all these blocks in our SkyGrid. So for the SkyGrid, we're only going to be using blocks that can be placed freely in the air. But I am still still going to be collecting every single block in the game just to add them to this block museum, because like I said, block museums are pretty cool. So with that problem out the way, let's continue collecting all the wood types. So let's grow ourselves some spruce, some birch, which by the way I don't actually think is very ugly. I'm just a sheep. You know what block is ugly though? Jungle. Jungle is just yeah. But anyways, all we need now is acacia, dark oak, mangrove, cherry, and pale.
Hello there.
What the heck? That reminds me, actually, I need a creaking heart as well. I'm just gonna take it from this tree. And now we just need bamboo and the nether woods. But now that we have all the wood types, we can craft all the different wood blocks and place them in. Honestly, the most annoying part is probably just figuring out where to put each block. A million options and my indecisive ass still struggles to pick somewhere. But with wood also comes leaves, so let's add all these in. Bish, bash, bosh, mate. So next up is all the natural slash surface blocks, which is your stuff like grass, podzol, dirt, and all the other dirts. But then we've also got mycelium, as well as mud, and all the mud variants. Who the hell even uses all these blocks? I have no idea. Now we need to grab all these sand blocks, and there's a lot of them. There's sand, sandstone, sandstone stairs, sandstone slabs, sandstone walls. Oh, what the hell? There was a treasure chest here? Wait, how is there a treasure chest here? This is above the ocean. And to place the sand in, we're going to do a neat trick with some string, which should allow us to just place the sand without it falling. And we're also going to be doing this for gravel and any other block that's affected by gravity. And yes, I will be collecting suspicious sand and gravel along with some other unobtainable blocks later in the episode. All we need now is the moss block, the pale moss block, and the carpets too. And we also need clay, snow, and powdered snow, which is probably going to be the death of me later because you fall right through it. But next is the stones category. So we'll start by collecting all the actual blocks like stone, then some cobblestone. Then we can fly over to this spruce forest for mossy cobble, where I think this is my first time finding a black wolf. Hello, buddy. And for the next ones, I think we can probably just find them all in this hole. Ow. Now how the hell do I get crying obsidian? Is there a ruined portal here perchance? You can't just say perchance. Hey, we actually found one. Give me that crying obsidian, mate. Now we need to get calcite, which I think I need a mountain biome for. Wait, I'm an idiot. I should have been taking these stone brick blocks from the ruined portals, because obviously I need them for the sky grid. Although I think I'm still missing the mossy stone brick. Yes, I am. Luckily, I was able to find that pretty easily from this underwater monument. What I couldn't find so easily though was calcite, and after searching far and wide, I would soon find something beyond my expectations. Okay, Dude, here I was flying around in a windswept hills biome, and by sheer luck, I found a deep slate emerald ore. Well, that saves me a lot of time later. I don't know how I managed to find it just by looking down there. I swear I'm not x-raying, guys, I swear. But I couldn't find calcite, so we're just gonna cheat and take it from the chest. And don't worry, I haven't forgotten about resin bricks. I just kind of enjoy beating trees as well, like, it's pretty satisfying.
Help me!
And that is every stone-related block in the game. But of course, a lot of these blocks also have stairs, slabs, walls, which I've just spent 10 minutes crafting all these. But yeah, now we have to place all these blocks in, which is gonna take a very long time. And let's not even talk about editing all these blocks into this thing. Yep, can confirm, editing this episode was a pain. Literally, my right arm is hurting after making this one. But something you may have noticed is that I've only been placing one of every single block, which will definitely not be enough to fill in the entire sky grid. And my solution for that? Well, we'll get to that later. Wait, I think I forgot chiseled tough blocks. Yeah, apparently there's also chiseled tough bricks, which, yes, there actually is. Okay. Alright, and I think these resin blocks are the last blocks we have to add in. So, kaboom! You can definitely see a sky grid starting to form with all the blocks we're placing in.
Are you sure about that?
Now it's time to move on to the ores, which was supposed to be a difficult category with an epic build up to the deep slate emerald ore, but obviously we just went and found that randomly. Yeah, thanks deep slate emerald ore, you ruined absolutely everything. You bastard.
What is it? me for?
So yeah, let's just speed through this category. We've got all the ores. Now we've also got the raw ore blocks, which if you didn't know, you can just craft with the raw ores. Then we've also got all the actual ore blocks, like a block of coal, block of iron, block of gold, block of redstone, block of lapis, block of diamond, block of emerald, block of amethyst. And it pains me to have to say this, but a block of netherite. The rules are the rules, the game is the game. I'll be coming back for you, mate. Also, all the nether ores too. And that should be every single ore. Well, except for one. Because this ore is so useless that it doesn't even deserve to be put into the sky grid. Yeah, I'm talking about this ugly piece of poo. So there's obviously all the copper ores, but then there's also another 9 copper blocks. Doesn't seem like much, right? But then there's also 4 different levels of oxidization, and on top of that you can wax all 4 levels of oxidization. This is gonna get really confusing. Yeah, I'm confused already. What the heck? Wait, can these blocks hurry up and oxidize? Same blue balls, this is blue blocks. What is going on? Hallelujah, every block has oxidized. And for the sky grid, we can't place any of these ones in because they will just keep oxidizing. So we can only do the fully oxidized copper and the wax blocks. And I almost forgot, I've also got to do the copper ores. And to finish off the stones, we're going to pay the warden a visit. I'm here to bust your kneecaps, warden. Wait, do wardens even have knees? Surely they have knees, right? But let's grab some of the sensor blocks and the shrieker blocks. Then we also need the vines. No, we should get a catalyst from killing the warden. That would be fun. Any warden's home? Hello? Oh, he is home. It's good to know. Oh, there's one right there. What the heck? Okay, I don't like this. I don't know where I am. Warden, I'm sorry. I was just kidding. I've folded under 0 pressure. Wait, he can't even get to me. He's stuck. That's unlucky, mate. I guess I'll be taking both your kneecaps. And he's dead. All that for a sculpt catalyst, mate. Worth it. And if we go down here to collect some of the amethyst crystals. Wait, there was calcite here the whole time. But yeah, now we can make a calibrated sculk sensor too. And that completes all the sculk blocks. And now we can move on to the ocean. Starting with the most ocean block there is, water. And that's going to be a bit of a problem. But what if there was a way to fix this? Well, if we remove all the sculk and then place some pistons in, and now if we connect all these pistons with slime blocks, we should be able to use a sneaky trick called update suppression, where if we now break all the redstone powering the pistons, what we should be left with in the end is a floating water. That is very strange to look at, and this is also how we're going to add lava to the sky grid eventually when we get to the nether section. But now we can move on to the actual ocean blocks. So first we need to find a sea temple. Oh, Bing pot. So now we can mine prismarine. Oh, there it is. Ah, you big ugly fish. Now I need some milk. Oh, there's a big cow. I'm not talking about your mother. Way. Sorry, I'm just kidding. That was kind of rude. All right, now we can get prismarine. Now let's come to the coral reef and grab every single coral block. We need 2 of each because there's the alive coral and then there's also the dead coral. Unless you can place it next to floating water. Okay, never mind, it still dies. Oh, and actually, I just realized we can place in a block that I couldn't before. We can now add farmland because that water should wet this grass. Is that the right term? Oh yeah, there it is. Some wet dirt, mate. Now let's add all the prismarine stuff in. Now if we smelt 9 kelp, we can make a dried kelp block. This is my first time making this, I think. Let's add that in right there. Now I need to find some turtles. Breed these guys up. Let these guys do their thing. And let this guy do his thing. And I will be taking... Oh, you fat ass. Oh, it's a good thing there's another 4 turtles right here. And now I need to kill some drown to get some nautilus shells. Wait, this guy's got a trident and a nautilus shell. Give me. Oh, we actually got both as well. What the heck? I feel like that's kind of rare. I have no idea. With this and the harder sea we got, we can now make a conduit. And those are all the ocean blocks collected. Nice. Oh, you've got to be joking me. There we go. We won't step on those ones this time. Now it's time to collect all the plant blocks. But the problem here is there's only about 8 blocks we can actually place in. For the rest of the plants, which there are so many by the way, it took me like an hour to collect all these. We're just going to be dumping these into chests around the SkyGrid map. And we're also going to be doing that with the blocks we couldn't place before, which is also why the counter has jumped up 100 times. So before you guys come at me for not actually collecting every block, yes, I am collecting every single block, okay? So now we can move on to the colored blocks. These are going to be the most colorful montages ever. First, we need all the wools, which we can just grab from the sheep farm. Some of these sheep are sleeping on the job though. What are you doing, mate?
I don't know what I'm doing!
Now it's time for a huge crafting montage, because we need one of every colored terracotta. Oh, but there's also all the glazed terracotta. I never realized how cool some of these glazed terracotta looked. Man, this looks like some demonic owl or something. What is that black terracotta? Now we need all the concretes and the powders. Then we gotta do all the stained glass and the stained glass panes. This is pain to craft all these. Oh, I can't forget about tinted glass either. I think that is probably the first time I've ever made that as well. Next is all the shulker boxes, which are kind of painful to add in because they're pretty useful. Then we need one of every candle. And finally we just need the beds and the banners, which we can't really add into the SkyGrid because it kind of breaks the 3-block rule. I mean, I guess we could do it, but it just looks a bit weird. Okay, wait, I forgot about the ominous banner as well. That's very important. Yeah, we just added a world of color to this SkyGrid. Dude, we still have so many gaps to like place blocks though, oh my god. But we still have a good few categories to go, and the next one is all the utility blocks, which is stuff like the crafting table, chest, trap chest, furnace, blast furnace, smoker, jukebox, note block, bookshelf. Yeah, you guys get the idea. I have to spam the rest of these things in. Wait, I should have just used a stone cutter before. What was I doing? That would have made crafting stuff so much easier. I'm an idiot. The anvils actually have 3 different types, because you got the fully repaired one. We also need the chipped one, which I need to actually make this anvil chipped real quick. So yeah, that makes a chipped anvil. And then there's also the fully damaged anvil. Next we gotta do the enchant table, the ender chest, and the beacon. I'm also going to include the bee's nest, the beehive, the honey blocks, the 3 frog lights, and also the cobweb, which yeah, these aren't really utility blocks, but I don't know what other category to put them in. So I don't know why I jumped into this cobweb. Let me out. And all these blocks we'll just put into chests. The next category is redstone, which are also kind of utility blocks, but they're slightly different, I guess. Alright, that should be all the redstone blocks too. Although these blocks we can't place in either for obvious reasons. And that is all the overworld categories we have. So now let's move on to the nether categories. I feel like I'm saying categories really weird. I don't know how the right way to say it is. And the nether only has 5 different biomes, so I guess we'll just collect the blocks based on that. Start with the Soul Sand Valley, which just has soul soil, soul sand, and also bone blocks. Then we come to the Warp Forest. We'll grab the warped wart block, the warped nilium, and a shroom light. This has to be the slowest way anyone has ever mined a shroom light. Why I'm not just building up, I don't know. And then we can grab the crimson version of those blocks as well. We of course have just the regular nether waste, which has netherrack and glowstone. Okay, there we go, glowstone. And then last is the basalt biome, which has magma, basalt, and blackstone. Oh, what am I doing? And blackstone. Now we just need the blocks from these structures, and that should be all the nether blocks. And what we're going to do with the nether and end dimension blocks is put those at the bottom of the SkyGrid, where I forgot about all the quartz blocks. Ah yeah, man. And last but not least, we need the floating lava. And you guys already know the next dimension is the end, which luckily there's really not that many blocks. It's literally just the endstone blocks, the purple blocks, the end rod. That is gonna hurt to jump on later. Big spiky thing going straight up me. And the end crystal, which, how do I place this in? How to place an end crystal. Oh, it can only be placed on bedrock. Then the last end block is the dragon egg, which I actually don't know where my dragon egg is. Oh wait, I think it's at my deep dark dimension. Just have to hope that there isn't a warden over here. Yep, there's the dragon egg. So grab that. Wait, are there still wardens down here? Oh, yep, there's two down there. Oh god, where am I? I don't know where I am. Oh yikes, get me out this place. And we'll place this smack bang above the portal. That looks pretty cool. Now we are onto the really rare blocks. The first of which are all the mob heads. And despite seeing many thunderstorms throughout this episode, I never thought to save any charge creepers for now. Yep, I am stupid. So while we wait for a thunderstorm, I decided to make myself useful and start filling in the entire sky grid. Guys, the sky grid is forming. We're finally getting to that stage where I'm actually breaking Skulk. Alright, I've finished the bottom 5 levels of this sky grid, and we still haven't got a thunderstorm, so I guess we may as well just start filling in the top levels now, which we're just going to be filling with leftover blocks and common stuff like dirt, and also this heavy core, because I forgot to put it in before. Holy buster rhyme. Okay, I'm basically done with this sky grid. There's only 46 netherrack blocks left to replace, and I still haven't got a thunderstorm. Zeus just does not care, man. So at this point, I'm just gonna grab the piglin head we already have. Honestly, majority of the blocks I collected in this episode I already had, but me just going through my chests wouldn't be a very entertaining episode. And there's one last head we need to collect, which is not the player head, although we will be getting that soon. It is the dried ghast, which got added in the 1.21.6 update. So I need to update to that version. Look at this dude, why does he look so grumpy? Yeah, I think I just have to find a new Soul Sand Valley. Is this a new Soul Sand Valley? I don't think this is a new biome. Oh, wait. What? How? There is no way there's a diamond skeleton in the nether. How is... Hold up, where's my name tag? Bob Skeleton, get in the boat. Oh my god. Okay, well, I'll be bringing this guy back to my museum eventually. I was just looking for a dried ghast head, mate, and I found a diamond skeleton. What is that luck? Okay, I'm pretty sure these are new chunks because the lava's flowing. Oh, is that one? That is one. George, that'll be his name. Okay, that is every skull added to the sky grid, which means we're down to the final category, which is the unattainable blocks. Starting with the suspicious sand and gravel, because you see, normally if you try and mine a suspicious gravel, it just disappears. But if you use this one method of creating a bubble column, and then let the gravel fall into the bubble column, it should bounce around a couple times, and soon after it should break. Please. There it is, suspicious gravel. The other method to get these blocks is to let them fall through a cobweb. So, you know, we just let this thing fall through. So how is your guys' day doing? Boom, there it is. So let's add these in. Bop and plop. Next block we need is the monster spawner, which I have from a couple episodes ago. But then we also need the end portal frame and bedrock, which obviously we can't get in this version. So hello to beta 1.9 pre-release 4. You guys may recognize this world from when I got the end portal frames, which is actually the reason I'm back in this version, because I've got some leftover ones, and now we just need to get bedrock. So I collected some blaze rods, some ender pearls, and some ghast tears. And by collected, I of course mean duped. And now we are in version 15W47C, the snapshot where collecting bedrock is actually possible. We first just need to kill the ender dragon. Okay, we should be able to get him right now, come on. I missed. What was that shot? Yes, that took so long, dude. I'm never using a regular bow again. Now we can try and get ourselves some bedrock. But first we place an end crystal here, and then we respawn the ender dragon as usual. But instead of letting it respawn, we blow up the crystal, and now there's a 1 in 6 chance that when I go through this portal, there'll be a bedrock on the other side. As soon as I skip the credits. Okay, there is no bedrock here, that's just great. And it is for that exact reason that I've made a backup. So let's just try again. Come on. Hey, there it is. The bedrock. Oh my god. Dude, we got bedrock in survival. What is this? So now we just have to bring them back to our world, which we can do by putting these in a chest in the end and transferring this end dimension into our hardcore world. So if we make our way to the end, we should just be able to grab the end portal frames and bedrock. Oh my, there it is. But we are not done here because there's still a couple of illegal blocks we have to get. And this time we need to head into the 1 block at a time snapshot, a version where, as the name suggests, you can only hold 1 block at a time.
What the hell?
And one important feature we can take advantage of is that Enderman can hold and place any block in the game, and we all know where there is an abundance of Endermen. Welcome to 1 block at a time, ladies and gentlemen. First thing we need to do is find ourselves a ruins portal, because being in the game entirely depends on us getting to the nether. Oh, okay, there's a ruins portal right over there. Okay, we just have to finish this portal, so let's break this crying obsidian. This is going to take so long with my fist. Yes, oh my god, that took so long, dude. Now I have to break this obsidian too. So let's go ahead and plop this down right there. Now we just need 1 more obsidian right there. And actually we got a fire charge from the chest, which I think we can just use to activate the portal. And now that we've unlocked the nether, all we have to do is find a nether fortress. Because weirdly, in this snapshot, this is where you find end portal frames.
Huh?
Okay, we have secured 1 end portal frame. Now we just need 11 more. This is gonna take so long, dude. And luckily for you guys, I won't make you endure the pain and suffering I had to go through for these end portal frames. Cause yeah, it took me hours to get these. So if I can get this end portal frame in the right orientation, this portal should activate. That is not right. No, no, no. Yes. Come on. Oh, landed in the wrong spot. Okay, come on. It didn't work. And if I just place it down normally? No. Come on. Oh, it actually worked. Well, we're not going to jump in there yet because we need a skeleton and a chicken. Skeleton, come here with your big googly eyes. Go. Come here, chicken. Boom. You are the chosen one.
What?
And we throw him into the end as well. No, no, no. Oh my god. Oh, what a clutch. And hopefully these guys should be here. Yes, let's grab the skeleton, grab the chicken, and now we've got ourselves a flying bow and arrow. It's time to destroy these crystals. And 10, that is every crystal destroyed. Okay, now we gotta kill the ender dragon. Okay, come on. Oh no. Yes, we've done it. We've jumped onto the dragon. What the heck? We can control it just by looking around. This is actually so cool. But to kill the ender dragon, we're just gonna ride straight into the void. What just happened? What the heck? Wait, I've got a dragon in the overworld. Okay, well at least now there is no more ender dragon in the end. So we can just sit and wait for the enderman to drop our illegal blocks. Okay, surely enough time has passed. There's already 1 block we need right there. There's a command block there, and there's also the green one over there. Wait, I just found the barrier as well. That was extremely lucky. So to actually pick up the blocks, we have to place a dropper, and then we can use a button to make the block just fall into it. And now I should be able to pick it up if I walk into it. Oh, there it is. So let's grab all the other blocks we need. Wait, what the hell is this block? Can I break this? Oh, I can. Does it keep the effect as well? Oh my god, it does. Okay, I'm gonna bring this with me as well. I've got no idea what this block is, but it looks cool. So we've got every block set up with a dropper and a button. So to bring these back, we'll press all these buttons, but we won't actually pick up the block this time. And then we'll do the same trick of transferring this end dimension into our hardcore world. So hopefully all these blocks should be here. Yes. The barrier block, the commands block, the structure block, the budding amethyst as well, and then also the player head. Oh my, I am Steve. Dude, this is so crazy to look at in my inventory. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to place all these blocks into our sky grid. Firstly, because I physically can't place some of these blocks, like this command block just won't go in, but also because I have a special place reserved for all of these blocks. So I'm only going to be placing the end portal frame and the player head. So we have now collected every single block in the game, which means it's time to play sky grid as soon as I break 18,000 skulk. Honestly though, this is pretty fun. And also very satisfying. Well, you know, this is a good way to practice my jumps as well. Make sure I don't die later when I play. Alright, there we go. Oh dude, I'm actually excited to play this. It's gonna be fun. So we'll put all of our stuff in a chest in the end. Now we'll fly over to the middle, turn our render distance down, chuck the elytra and rocket away, and here we go. It's time to play Sky Grid. So you're probably wondering how I'm gonna get out of this alive. Well, there are 12 Eyes of Ender hidden around the map. And to escape, we have to collect all of them and activate the end portal. So I'm not gonna start looking for those just yet. I think should probably try and get some wood first. There we go, spruce wood. Let me craft that into some planks. I'm also gonna need to start getting some food because I'm already starving. Let's go ahead and grab this hay bale. There's easy bread. I'm kind of nervous, man, I can't lie. Like, this is a bit scary to just be one jump away from death, but my first priority is to get a water bucket because I think that's going to be probably the most helpful thing. I need to start collecting blocks as well, and wool even if I want to make a bed. And there's actually just raw iron here, which we'll take. Or actually, I guess I could try and get an iron block, which I've just seen. That is so lucky. Give me this. Okay, we can make a water bucket. Thank God. Yes, there's no way I die now, right? Surely. Let's make a bed. Let's get all these random blocks down. Look at that, mate. We've got a little base set up. You know what? I guess I may as well make some armor, right? Oh, wait. Maybe I should have made an iron pickaxe. I could have got diamonds. That would have been way better. And I've just seen a furnace. Oh my god. Okay, let's cook this iron. Okay, we can make ourselves an iron pickaxe. Alright, let's go for some diamonds. Boom. I wonder where the diamond block is. That would be very helpful. Is there anything in this chest for me? A bunch of doors. Nice. Another diamond right here though. And another one. And I've also spotted another hay bale. Oh dude, oh my god. Note to self, don't waterlog slabs and stuff. What's in this chest, mate? Oh, finally, we found an Eye of Ender. Is there anything in there? Oh, nice. Dude, we're actually on a roll. We're on a roll. Oh my dude, this is actually crazy. We're finding so many Eyes of Ender now. Oh, there's another water right there. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Noise. Oh, that farmland is gonna die now. Oh well. Got bigger things to worry about than farmland dying. Like getting some Eyes of Ender. There we go. Look at me go, mate. I'm so confident I'm not even using water anymore. Anything? Oh, there's 5. You know what? Let's get ourselves a lava bucket. Give me that. This should work, right? Please? Yes, I'm turning this into a skyblock challenge right now. What is going on? What I might do is go down to the end portal and just make a platform down there. It should be good enough, I hope. Let's see if we can get some chests down here now. Anything? Yes, there we go. Can you guys tell I'm nervous? Because I'm very nervous. Come on. Yes, there's another one. Oh, the Eyes of Ender can also be in shulker boxes. I've just remembered. There's another one though, so let's get... Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. My heart just jumped out of my chest. How did I fail a 2-block jump? Okay, what I wanted to say was let's get some water to the top of the map. There are a couple barrels up here that I would like to check. It is turning nighttime though, so I should probably get back to my base. Let's check this barrel. Nothing. My palms are sweaty, man. Knees weak, arms are heavy. Got an iron chestplate on my chest already. Holy bars. One place we haven't checked is the end bit, but it's kind of spooky down there. Okay, yep, I was right. There's one there. Before you guys think I'm just like going to chests that I know have Eyes of Ender, I put these things in like a couple days ago, so I have no idea where they are. But could there be one here? Yes, there is. There's also a chest all the way over there, which I think has one. Me saying that makes it seem like what I just said is a complete lie. Come to daddy, chest. I'm coming for ya. Wow, wait, this chest actually didn't have anything? That's insane. Okay, I mean, there's only 2 more we have to get. I think they're probably in shulker boxes, because I haven't checked many shulker boxes yet. Like that red one. Come on, have an Eye of Ender. Yes, it actually does. You know what, should we see what nighttime is like? I'm definitely not going out and jumping around when it's night, though. You know what, I'm just gonna make diamond pants as well, because I'm kind of scared. You know, maybe nighttime isn't so bad. Yeah, it's all zombies and creepers. Where are the skeletons? Oh, there's a skeleton. Speak of the devil. Ooh, look what I found. Cheeky ender chest, mate. I wonder what I could take from here. Oh my god, there it is, man. We can get out of this cursed place. Oh, you've got to be joking me. You have to be joking me, dude. Oh my god, thank god that Eye of Ender didn't pop. Jesus Christ. Dude, that is so lucky, man. Get me out of here. Wait, that's a bit weird. The chest, like, exploded? Wait, I'm missing my leggings. Oh, okay. They're just in this chest for some reason. Alright, we successfully beat Sky grid. Oh, my spawn point is still here. Ow. Honestly, that was pretty easy. I totally wasn't nervous the whole time. Also, what do I do with this big hole now? I've got absolutely no idea. But there's one more thing I have to show you guys, and that is the block museum. So, with another objective ticked off the list, and the casual flex of beating Skygrid under my belt, we can now safely continue the journey to 5,000 days. But before we move on to a brand new project, there was a certain skeleton I had to save. Yeah, we're only gonna have one shot at this, because if he dies, then obviously he dies. So what I'm gonna do is make a nether portal. And this guy, please stop shooting me. So let's drag him through this portal real quick. There we go. Let's cover his head so he doesn't burn during the day. Now what I have to do is break this portal, and we have to fly all the way back to my base where I've set up a portal on the nether roof. So now I can just drag this guy through this portal, where I can now just transport him all the way to my museum. Let's go, mate. Ow. 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 I'm not getting paid enough for this, man. And of course I've got to kill the fake Bob skeleton. Give me my armor back, please. Thank you. Wait, how did that not get damaged like at all? I just smacked him with the netherite sword, whatever. And there we go, the client has been transported. Welcome to your new home, Bob skeleton.
Help me!
So now we can move on to my next objective. And believe it or not, collecting every block wasn't just for the sake of building a block museum or risking my world. It gives me all the more reason to build a storage system, because I've been needing one for this entire movie. And what better time to build one than with the newly added copper golems.
I'm tired, boss.
But where am I going to build it? Well, I want to transform this entire cavern, filling it with wildlife, structures, lore, and the perfect storage system. So I'm going to split this up into 3 phases. And first, we have to prepare the cavern for construction, meaning I have to get rid of all of this water. But since I don't fancy doing this myself, let's just enlist the help of our friend SpongeBob. And now we can start clearing the area for our new storage system. Oh my god, I just broke my pickaxe. I'm such an idiot. I mean, hey, at least I don't have to repair it now. Just made a new one. Okay, I'm running into one problem here. Deep slate. So I guess we'll set up some TNT machines. And I forgot to put the minecart in, whoops. And because I don't want the TNT to make a big mess, what we'll do is dig some very deep trenches and then line the edges with water, and then the TNT should be able to cleanly get rid of everything in between, which yeah, has worked pretty well. And now we can move on to phase 2, building the storage system, which I've conveniently already designed in my separate creative world, and by turning it into a schematic, we can now easily build it in our hardcore world. Well, as soon as I collect all the blocks. Need so many tough blocks, dude. Now I need quartz for the comparators. Alright, and that should be everything we need to build this new storage system. And while I build this storage system in the background, let me give you some context on how big of an upgrade this thing actually is. Because my current storage with only 128 chests can hold around 450,000 items. But this new system, whilst also having the capability to automatically sort items for me, can hold over 6 million. And that is 1,728 double chests waiting to be organized and filled. And I'm pretty sure you guys don't want to watch me collect every block and item, because you've already seen that. So I'll just show you the important ones, like the ancient debris for a block of netherite, the deep slate emerald ore. Oh hey look, a deep slate emerald ore. Don't mind if I do. Yes, don't worry, I did find another one later. Oh, 2 as well. 3 deep slate emerald ores. And finally, all the different mob heads. Skeleton. Boom. And now all we have to do is label every single one of these chests. This is going to take forever. Now, this storage system isn't going to individually store every single item, because dedicating one module to sort something like every flower seems a bit overkill. Instead, either I or one of my friends here will have to sort it manually. For the rest of the system, since I had already categorized every block last episode, all I had to do was group them together, pairing colored blocks with plants, wood with natural blocks, stones with mob drops, and rare ores with tools and utilities. What we have to do now is go grab an item that we have a lot of, like lapis, for example. Don't ask why I have this much lapis, it's a long story. But now we need to rename all of these items to use as a filter in the hoppers so that we can only get the item that we want to pass through into the chests. And because I'm sure you guys don't want to watch me spend hours doing this, we'll just do a little skip. But now we can test if it actually works. If I grab something like this grey wool and put it into our input chest, that should start firing out and we should see it end up in here. Okay, something is clearly wrong. Oh wait, I forgot about the water. Oh my god. There we go. Unfortunately, this system can't sort everything, like armor and weapons, but that is where the copper golems come in. So if I grab some stone bricks and some glass, and if we build a little cage back here, and we spawn our boy Charlie in, hello mate.
Hello there.
We can now get our little friend there to sort stuff like armor, so if I put diamond leggings into that one, this copper golem should grab them and he'll put them in the first chest he searches that has diamond leggings in them, which he's put them in there. Why did he check that chest before that chest? What are you doing? You're not very good at your job, are you, mate? But if we put stuff in that he can't find in these chests, like a gold chest plate, he should dump it into this one, which the next copper golem will deal with. So we can basically just make a huge chain of copper golems that will sort all the random items that we still have left. Just another day of slavery in Minecraft. What else is new? So now we can move on to phase 3, which is decorating. So we'll start by decorating the actual storage area. We'll add some moss carpets, some wildflowers, and some little grass bits. This extra depth and detail is already like so much better. And we can also get all the beacons set up again. It's going to be nice to have all the beacon effects in this one area. And now we can move on to this entire cavern. And the first thing I had to do was cover up this ugly system. So grabbing myself some stone, I began to lay out the terrain of the cavern, adding dips and hills to make it look more natural. And making use of some bone meal, we now get the very satisfying view of watching this place go from grey to green.
Oh yeah, it's all coming together.
I'm gonna cut down a bunch of the grass in here as well. Like, I want this place to be overgrown, but not too overgrown, you know? And after a while of being a lawnmower, I also built myself a dripstone farm, because I was going to need a lot of dripstone for something that's totally not related to these random circles. And now that the terrain is done, let's get into the game plan. Because there are 4 quadrants right here that I want to transform, each with their own themes. So first we'll start with this area, which we're going to dedicate to the copper golems. And the first structure I wanted to build was a small copper gazebo. So I just got straight to work. But my first attempt turned out absolutely horribly.
What the hell is even that?
And realizing these were supposed to be ruins, because I had stolen all the copper golems to be my minions, I quickly destroyed much of what I built, which funnily enough gave me a better result. And I'm just going to build more ruined houses all over this place. There's not really any technique to these, I'm just placing random blocks in and hoping it looks good. So we've got a couple of ruins here, but I think they need more copper features. So we'll just place a bunch of copper related blocks. I like the idea that these are like copper artifacts just being laid around in this place. Also, apparently there's like frozen golem statues you can get, but you need to wait for these guys to oxidize, so I'm just going to trap them in here. There is going to be one thing intact in this place, and that is like a secret copper vault. So if you guys have any lore ideas for what this vault is protecting, then let me know in the comments. Now it just needs more vegetation. And I don't mean just leaves, I also mean trees.
Huh?
What do you mean your jungle trees don't look like that? You know, there's nothing out the ordinary here. Okay, I'm gonna stop doing this transition, it takes way too long to do. But the trees look pretty nice, so we'll build a couple more of those. And I've also added these little shrub-like trees just to add more detail to the ground floor of this place. Right now there isn't too much on the roof and walls, but there's a big reason for that and we'll get to that later. For now, I think this place is done, so we can move on to this quadrant now. What was that bounce? What the hell? Which we're gonna turn into a giant lush cave, but normally lush caves are made of moss. Oh my, of course the phantoms have to ruin everything, man. Just let me watch my moss farm in peace. And last time I checked, lush caves also have a bunch of glowberries on the roof. Right, George? I've created the ballsack farm. Yes, I'm immature, I know. Nope, and it's shooting blanks. George, I'm gonna need your help again to get these ballsacks on the roof. Oh my god, what am I doing? George. Alright, we'll see what kind of mess this turns into. The last thing a lush cave needs is a bunch of water and clay. But it's time for a quick history lesson, because you guys may remember this is one of the first caves I ever went to in this hardcore world. And it's also where I had my first near-death experience, forcing me to shelter in this tiny little cubby. So to honor that moment and cement it into our world, we're gonna build a little jungle shelter right here. One thing I would like to have first is a bit of a watchtower, because obviously you need some lookout when you're surviving in a harsh jungle cave. Okay, that's a pretty cozy jungle shack. The interior is not very good, but we'll just ignore that. This place is looking luscious. What does luscious even mean? It means sexually attractive. Okay, that is not how I wanted to describe this place. So that out the way, let's move on to this quadrant now. And I want to turn this whole area into a big mining operation. The first thing I need to do is get rid of this like weird bump in the roof. Of course, there's water here. No, oh my god. There goes all the decorations I put down here. Great. SpongeBob, my savior. Hey look, this is even one of the bits I staircased down to this cave like 3 years ago. But look at me now, mate. Still just as stupid as before. Alright, the stone tomb is gone now. So we can start building. First thing we need is a mineshaft entrance, and we're gonna build a wooden elevator. This staircase design I'm doing on this shaft is gonna be the death of me, just placing stairs back and forth. And what we can do is use grindstones to make it look like there's a chain. So that's one shaft done. I'm also gonna build a bigger shaft over here that takes you down to the bottom. But next I think we're gonna build a campsite for the miners to sleep. By miners, I mean like the workers, you know, the dudes that are mining stuff. There's no child labor going on here. These miners ain't exactly got the best living conditions. Next, I think we'll build a crane lowering something down to the bottom. And yeah, I really like the use of shelves to make things look reinforced. It's actually a pretty nice block. W Mojang, mate. So if we have chains running down to each of the grindstones, that makes it look like this is the mechanism that lowers the platform down. So there we go. That's a pretty realistic looking crane, I think. Now we'll just add all the typical things you'd find in a mineshaft, like crates, ores, these log things you always see, and of course we need a railway system. So the railway, I can't speak, what the hell. So the railway can end here, so you can access the elevator shaft, and then it will just go into the wall over there, and we can imagine it continues throughout the cavern. The one problem with this mining operation is that there's nothing to mine. But luckily, I have the perfect solution to that. Dude, this is the kind of thing you'd see in a creative world, not a hardcore Minecraft world. Like, what is this? Alright, this is gonna be crazy. Honestly, not as much as I thought it was gonna be, but these will fit very nicely into this cavern. One thing I will say is I'm awful at building spikes, so don't judge. But I also want to make some other ore reserves using prismarine blocks. So for all the Hypixel Skyblock players out there, this will probably look pretty familiar. And yeah, honestly, these diamond spikes work really well with these. But I don't want to just have these in this section, because remember when I said that these walls look pretty plain? Well, that is about to change. Hey, we finally have some details on these walls now. And I also put a little lake over here because I didn't know what else to build in this section. So now we are down to the final quadrant. Slime, get out of here, man. And the theme for this one is going to be a bit more deadly. I want to add a bunch of geises. Is that how you say it? I didn't want to say geises because that's definitely not how you say it. Maybe these geises will finally get rid of all the slimes in this place. Look at this dude. He thinks he can get me. What an idiot. And I didn't know this, but you can actually just place campfires directly underwater. That does not make any sense. Yeah, wait, how does this work? You can get burned from standing on them too. What is going on? A lot of geysers seem to have yellow and orange blocks surrounding them, so we'll add a bunch of that stuff in. Okay, but why does yellow terracotta look more orange than orange terracotta? What is this? This is red, dude. Am I colorblind? Okay, what about sandstone? Yep, that is infinitely better. So the whole idea for this section is that these geysers kill off any wildlife in the area, which would explain the giant animal fossil I'm going to build in a second. I'm not going to be building a skeleton skull this time. It's just going to be the vertebrae. And off the sides of these bits, we'll just call them rib cages, even though I don't think that anatomy makes very much sense. That sentence didn't make much sense either. What the hell? English is hard sometimes. I have no idea what this thing was, but it helps to sell the dead vibe of this area. And what I'm also going to do is build these trees again, just without the leaves, which makes it look like they're just getting killed off by this deadly environment. Okay, well that completes all the individual themes I'm doing for this cavern, and it is time to check on this dripstone farm. That is nothing. What the hell? That's not even a stack of dripstone blocks. This is definitely not going to cut it, because I need these circles to extend all the way up to the roof. So I guess I have to go mine it myself then. That's just great. Ow. This dripstone has taken me way too long to collect, but at least building the pillars won't be as bad, right? 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 Dude, that one is a whopper of a pillar, my god. Also, I definitely have to change that pillar, it looks terrible. But next step is to add a bunch of leaves and vegetation to these pillars. I also wouldn't mind trying to connect some vine shapes between the pillars. That could be cool. The happy ghast is actually a bit of a lifesaver for this. I honestly couldn't imagine doing this without the happy ghast. Yep, you're doing great, buddy. You're doing great. How is that looking so far? That is very nice. What the hell? These vines are pretty damn good. Although this roof is still very plain. And well, I just so happen to have some leftover diamonds. Yeah, why build a diamond beacon when you can just put diamond spikes in the roof of your cave, am I right? You know what? I think I've actually gotten better at building spikes. All it cost me was 5 stacks of diamond blocks, but honestly, those look really cool. I also built myself a nether portal just for easy access to the nether. It's a pretty simple build, just like an overgrown kind of thing. I'd say the only thing this place is missing is some animals. So first up, how are our copper golems doing? Oh, they've all frozen in time, dude. Wait, why is this guy T-posing in the wall, mate? And these copper statues I'm going to put in the ruins. That looks kind of funny. Or it's just, oh, you can change them. Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. W Mojang, once again. The next animal I'm going to add is a bunch of axolotls. I believe one of these guys is a blue one. There we go. There's the blue axolotl. We'll get 2 of every color cat. These guys are going to be living like no other cats. Okay, it looks like... Oh, they've actually all teleported to me. Good boys. And girls, maybe. I'm not sure. We can also get some sheep down here. Unfortunately, not all of them made it. And then we'll also get some chickens, if these eggs allow me. Alright, 4 chickens, it's good enough. We can finally say goodbye to the old storage system. Now its only use is taking me to the new storage system. Although I should probably centralize this hole and also decorate it. Go away, creeper. Oi, get away from me, you scoundrel. Okay, so that's the entire hole dug out. Now we can get to work on detailing it. Well, this change is gonna take some getting used to. My storage is gone, man. But this cave, which was once the catalyst for all the success I've made in this hardcore world, is now my underground haven. And while this cave has undergone a massive transformation, there was one crucial thing missing not only from the storage system, but from another chapter of this story. Because not only had I forgotten to transform the nether forests, but I forgot to add them to this storage room too. Luckily, adding another module was quite easy. Transforming entire biomes wasn't. So rather than picking some random locations to demolish and rebuild, what if I incorporated these forests into a build that was a bit more useful? Because quite frankly, my nether dimension is a very dangerous place, and walking through this portal feels like hell. Ghast shoot their flaming balls, piglins constantly assault me, and the surrounding landscape looks terrible. So to fix that, I'm going to build the perfect nether hub, a completely safe base with portals, nether highways, and some long-awaited transformations. And this project is going to be split into 2 sections, below the nether roof and above the nether roof. So the first thing we need to do is break a hole through this bedrock. And to do that, we need a bedrock breaker. What I have to do now is extend this roof of pistons, because you basically need 1 piston per bedrock broken. So yeah, I need a lot of pistons. Whose idea was it to make the hole this big? That was a terrible idea. A person needs to be banned. Oh, wait, no, I was just kidding, please. Let me back into my world. So let's just try it out. We'll break the redstone block, and now this should start breaking the bedrock. Oh yeah, there it is. Mate, bedrock breaking has never been easier. And we can just pick up these pistons as well, which is good. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Where did this guy come from? So yeah, now we can just sit back and let this thing destroy the bedrock. But you're probably wondering how this machine breaks the rest of the layers. Well, it doesn't. Yeah, basically, I have to rebuild this machine 1, 2, 3, 4 times. And that's without any technical difficulties.
This is bad.
Alright, it is almost done. Look at this big, majestic hole.
Huh?
Okay, it's time for me to get off my ass and actually do something though. Somebody cue the rock music. Oh, look how nice this hole is though. Even if I didn't do anything else, this is such a good upgrade. Okay, I'm getting tired of mining. Where are the bombs? Kaboom!
Oh no.
Okay, maybe bombing wasn't the right solution. I pissed off an entire nation. Why are they still angry at me? What's wrong with these guys? Okay, whatever, let's build the bottom part of this nether hub. Bro, these guys are coming from absolutely everywhere. What the hell? And my plan for this is to build a giant volcano. So first we'll build the outline of it. This feels a bit too small. I'm gonna make it a bit bigger because this extra 5 blocks will definitely help. Ow, may as well fill in the bottom bit while I'm here, right? Oh god. And to build this volcano, I was going to need a plan. And a sponsor, because this episode would not be possible without this basalt farm. I got you guys there, didn't I? You thought I was actually a sponsored YouTuber. Nope. So I started by outlining a basic structure with 8 basalt pillars, which I figured I could just fill in the gaps and then have an awesome looking volcano. Dude, this looks garbage. Yeah, I was gonna need a better plan. So I started designing more notable features of the volcano, building the top for more structure, and then adding some lava channels using blackstone. So yeah, these should help to make more unique looking cliff sides. And if I place lava here, ideally it should flow all the way down to the bottom. Yeah, ideally I'd be tall and handsome, but you can't have everything in life, can you? Oh my god, I don't know how this lava has gone that far. Ow. But yeah, we can actually start filling in the volcano now. Hey, about 20 hours ago, I was thinking of using Axiom to build this. That would have been smart. That would have saved me 15 hours of my life. Well, one more wall to build at least. Now it's time to dive headfirst into a volcano. It's a good thing it's not active, because yeah, we had to fix up the inside of this place. So for the interior of this volcano, I decided to use a collection of stone blocks to build some natural looking structures. And while this first stone pillar would be simple enough to build, the walls would not be as easy. Oi, okay, maybe doing this from top down is not the best idea. This doesn't seem much better though, to be honest. Don't mind me, just chilling. Okay, hold on, I'm gonna need some fire res for this. I cannot wait to spawn proof this place. Oh my god. Go away. So I'll outline all the bottom bits first, and then we can just work on building this whole thing up. Guys, I found a fate worse than death. Fixing all these sideways basalts. Dude, they're everywhere. Oh god. Let's spawn proof everything so we don't get gas spawning all over the place. Yep, like this guy. Get out of here, man. Piss off, mate. It feels like a trade-off. You get a more boring grounds, but you don't have gas blowing you up every second. I don't know which one is better. Next, let's get some color in here, because this gray is hurting my eyes. So on these elevated bits, we're going to add our warped and crimson blocks in. And I also want to add a bunch of these outside too. And all these are going to make way for some new custom nether trees. And since these are funguses, and I'm such a fun guy, sorry, we're gonna make these trees look more like mushrooms. This one's kind of small though, there's not much space here to build a tree. Let me just grow a bigger one over here. Yep, that is nice, man, look at that. It does kind of need a shroom light though. And we got mushroom for these trees outside the volcano too. See, look, mushroom, mushroom, mushroom. We got too much room, mate. Oh wait, but you guys wanted to see some blue mushrooms too, right? Well, here you go, blue mushroom. Annoying piglin. Blue mushroom. Blue mushroom. Blue mushroom. Cool, now this place looks like a flaming hot Cheeto. Huh? I mean, volcano. And after adding some shroomlights as a substitute for lava, and removing this big basalt chungus has been defeated. The volcano was complete. Now it's time to give this nether hub its nether hubness.
What?
Because by definition, a nether hub is a central base and transportation nexus that allows you to travel large distances in the overworld by using nether portals. But so far, this place only has one portal. So if I build a portal right here, this should connect up to a portal that I've made in my acacia transformation. Oh, okay, not really. Oh my, I deleted the grass as well. That's that. Oof. Holy stutter, man. That's the worst part. That's what I was trying to say. So this should take me to the nether hub. Yep, there we go. So now we can decorate this area to show that this is the acacia portal. And hey, the nether also gives the grass and leaves that pissed acacia look. That's perfect, dude. So those are some nice acacia decorations, I think. The next nether portal takes me to my block museum. So we'll decorate it with some quartz and some rare blocks. And unfortunately, those are all the locations I can reach from inside this volcano. Yep, this is a bit of a problem because how am I going to connect this nether hub to places like my cherry grove, my pale gardens, my flower forest? Well, that is where the nether roof comes in, because using the nether roof, we can easily travel to any location using ice-spread highways or just good old-fashioned flying. So it's time to begin stage 2 of this nether hub transformation. So first we've got to build up this hole. And I want to make this look like it was caused by a previous eruption of this volcano. So let's grab some magma blocks, and if we add these into the walls of this chasm, we can make these cool lava streaks. Why does that kind of look like two middle fingers being pointed up? I don't know how that happened. Yeah, something more like that. And these will be across this entire circle. Dude, this actually looks way better from a distance, I can't lie. Like, damn. Now we just got to cover up all this stuff, which we'll do with a platform that is being used to contain all these streaking lavas. We're using the colors of the nether portal, but reversed. It's Peathernortal. So no mobs should be able to spawn on this, although they're definitely going to spawn down here. Yeah, look at this guy, mate, thinking he belongs here. So that's that first platform done. Now let's build the next one, which is going to be much bigger. So now that we're done with the outlines, let's get into the plan. Because this part of the hub I want to turn into a giant mossy garden, filled with ponds and trees, and enclosed with huge walls with exits that lead to our nether highways. So first we'll start by building up the structure. This outer bit I want to be elevated by about 10 blocks or so. And next we're going to build some stone cliffs that go up to support the huge garden we're going to build. Oh my, this gas, bro. You can actually make like really unique shapes with stairs and slabs. Some of them are a bit goofy, but it does work pretty well. Here we've built all the cliffs. Now we've got to detail them with stuff like tuff, cobble, andesite, ores, glowberries, and some hanging moss, which I only have one of, so let's go grab some more. Hello, I would like you to stop attacking me, please. You piece of wood, mate. With the cliffs complete, we can now start building a mossy terrain. Seriously, Ghast, destroying my precious moss. Where'd that knobhead go? There he is. Get him. Operation Spawn Proof the Ting has begun. I'm sure it'll be easy to tell what I'm doing in this montage. And to spawn proof these parts, we're going to use a combination of carpets and buttons. Wait, you can line buttons up with the plank texture? Oh my god, that is revolutionary. You can't even tell there's a button there if you're looking from above. Yeah, there should be no possible way for a mob to spawn up here. Oh. Well, that's awkward. It's probably because of all this wood I've placed in. Because here, next on the build list is the giant wall to enclose this entire garden. And I've spent hours mining every single type of wood. Because what could go wrong with building this whole thing out of wood, right? Alright, so first we'll build up a couple of wood pillars. Just found a fun way to strip all these logs. It's kind of like a mini game. Did I miss any? Oh my god, I missed one. Or I could just strip the logs as I'm going up, like a normal person would. And this wall is going to be 25 blocks tall, so a very grandeur. Look at this. In between these wood beams, we're going to have shroom lights and copper grates. Give me the shrooms, tree farm. Okay. So we're going to have 8 exits, basically one nether highway for each direction. And first we'll decorate them with these little arches and weird quartz patterns. And in the middle, I discovered a really cool tinted window texture you can make, which you need a ton of tinted glass for. So I need a bunch more amethyst. Do I have some? Oh, we do. I didn't even know I had that myself. Oh yeah, that's ASMR to my ears. So what you need to do is put your light source at the bottom, then the color you want on top of that, and build up the walls with that same color. Cover the roof up as well, and then in the middle you place the tinted glass in. Don't mind me just breaking my legs over and over again. And that should create a cool blue gradient. Piglin, why do you have to do this, man? So in the spirit of the nether, we'll do blue on these ones and red on these ones. Dude, these are cool. They look like giant banners, but glowing as well. But now it's time to begin the daunting task of doing the walls. These things are massive, man, which is exactly why I've chosen a very simple design. Just some stripped jungle wood and some oak planks. And hey, if you guys have any suggestions for things to add to these walls, then let me know in the comments. Or in my brand new Discord. But now back to building these gargantuan walls. Multiple gargantuan walls detected in the area. Oh. Someone remind me why I decided to use jungle wood? We've only finished 1/4 and I'm already out of wood. Honestly though, the timing is pretty good. You guys are about to witness something very special. Because as this sun rises, we'll have officially hit 5,000 days. Hey, there it is. 5,000. So, does the movie just end now then? Peace. Okay, just kidding. We've still got a whole nether hub to build. Time to spend the 5,000th day farming some jungle trees. Yep, this is fun. The one thing I hate about walls though is that they have two sides. And what's even worse is I can't really use what I've already built because then this part doesn't make sense. So I'm gonna have to build this entire thing again. What the hell is going on there? Okay, well, it took most of Stranger Things Season 5, but the walls are finally done. For the roof, I think I want to make it a curved roof. Hello, pig man. I wonder if there's pig woman. I don't even know why I'm wondering that. So that's kind of perfect, actually. Now this one has to come up again. Okay, that doesn't look very grandeur. Maybe I'll do a switcheroo and put the big ones above the corners. Okay, yeah, that is way better. And of course, whatever we do to the inside has to be mirrored to the outside too. Spawn proof the ting. Yes, Paul, that means you've got to go to... Wait, if that's Paul, that means he ended up in hell. Don't know what he did to deserve it, but unlucky, mate. And for the finishing touch, we're going to add some letter directions on these roofs. So N for never, E for eat, S for soggy, and W for wheat bix. At least that's what I used to use to remember north, east, south, west. It's definitely an Australian thing. So yeah, this nether hub has basically been fully built up. So the final step is some decoration. First, we're going to add some ponds into this area. So boom. Oh yeah. That doesn't work here. Luckily, there is another way we can make ponds in this place. I've done this trick a lot of times, actually. In the end, in the deep dark dimension. Yeah, this is basically the best pond we're gonna get. Oh, you know what actually really helped me to build these last time? Jump boost 2. I'm gonna need some beacons. 2 withers at once, mate. Let's see what happens. This is probably an awful idea. Okay, he's not getting damaged by this thing. Hello? Okay, wait, this is bad. This is actually bad. Dude, my bow is not doing anything to these guys. Like, hello? Okay, this was probably a bad idea. 2 withers at once. My bow is not working. I need some notch apples, dude. I actually need notch apples. Okay, now I can fight this guy head on. Okay, oh. Wait, okay. Two withers is actually an awful idea. They can just blow up the nether star. Dude, what is wrong with the bow? Okay, I'm not fighting 2 withers at the same time again. That was actually kind of scary. Or actually, I could just build up these walls while I'm placing the glass in. That would also work. I just risked my life for absolutely nothing. Anyways, for the main attraction, we're going to be building more nether trees. Because I already know you guys would have flipped at me if I said that this was the nether forest transformation. So don't worry, because I've got even more nether trees for you guys. So I think we'll split the trees up into 2 sections. One side for blue and one side for red. Because it'll probably look weird if we mix the 2 trees together. So it's time to complete the long-awaited nether forests. It only took 8 months, but I hear you guys, alright? I hear ya. Need some cactus to be able to make some cyan dye. This stuff is a prick in the ass to get. Enough fooling around, mate. Let's get some cactus. Okay, I was going for 2 seconds and mobs have already started to spawn. Die. Okay, all these trees should be spawn proof too now. So, now let's build the red trees. Does anybody else find snipping these vines super satisfying? No? Just me? Okay. Unfortunately, I can't really put many plants in this area. The only thing we can really add is like leaves, azaleas, and bamboo. And we can also just add like flower pots with maybe some saplings or flowers in them. That's pretty much it. It's kind of annoying now, actually. I had to break all the moss carpets I placed. But all these small details should hopefully bring this whole place together. Also, since when could you put these in flower pots? I had no idea you could do that. Flower pots and buttons, low-key carrying this garden. You know what it really needs, though? It needs a giant tree. So let's get on out to the middle. Look, oh, okay. We'll start building a small nether island. The idea being that it got shot up by a volcano eruption. You know, if I had $1 for every time I made a floating island with a tree on it, I'd have $2. Yeah, I'm basically rich. And the ground will segment by the 2 colors as well. This place now looks like some sort of arena. It's 3v1. Fight! Ding ding ding, I win. So this tree is going to be slightly different from the other ones, and the leaves are going to be purple because blue and red makes purple. And I'm actually basing this build off a Lego build. It is still in the box, which means I can't see the back of the tree. Oh my god. Disaster. No, my crafting table. Oh, what a catch. You know, usually I do this part in creative first, but for some reason this time I decided to just build it in survival first, and it looks pretty good. As for the leaves though, yeah, I just went and designed that in creative. Doing leaves in survival is pure pain. This tree isn't as big as my usual trees, but it still works as the centerpiece of attention, so I can finally rest. We've finished the nether hub. Oh wait, this thing is just floating in the air. I've got to fix this now too. So what I need to build here is another moss mountain that the nether hub has sat its big blunder on. And to help ease my pain, I decided to dip my toes into Axiom, which is a very powerful building mod. So I started by using this capsule tool to create this rocky mound, and also to squish some magma cubes. Then, experimenting with the painting tools, I was able to turn majority of the landscape into moss, and add details into the cliffs with some random block patterns, before finally smoothing everything out to give it a more natural look. Okay, it's not perfect, but this should work as like a rocky terrain. So yeah, now I can just rebuild that whole structure in this world, and yeah, this makes this whole process a hell of a lot easier. Well, apart from the fact I had to spawn-proof everything, avoid ghast destroying everything, and also decorate it, but yeah, it was easier. But now it is nether hubbing time, you know, the whole purpose of making all this stuff. So let's decorate the floor a little bit. And in the roof, we'll match the color of the glowing banners we made. What the hell? Where did that guy come from? Oh, he probably spawned like here. Dude, that kind of scared me. I was not expecting a mob to fall from the heavens. So this portal is for my storage system, so we'll label it with a chest. If I build a portal on the north side, this should take me to my gunpowder farm. Nice. So we'll label this with gunpowder. And then south and east, I'm pretty sure these don't take me anywhere. Yep. Oh. Okay, I spawned in a geode. That actually would have been helpful when I needed these purple blocks for the tree. Ah yeah, man. So yeah, while this nether hub only has 2 direct locations, the other purpose for building this was to create iceboat highways to all my other points of interest. So to build iceboat highways, we need a boatload of ice. See what I did there? Because an iceboat highway. I'm pretty sure you need blue ice, and 1 blue ice is 9 packed ice. So we're gonna need to collect quite a lot. Hey, why are you angry, mate? Oh, it's because the little babies with him. Stranger danger and that. So I'm pretty sure to make an iceboat highway, you just need to put blue ice every 2 blocks. So maybe it's easier to build the sides first, and then we'll place all the ice in. Okay, this is looking pretty good. This turn is going to be problematic. Oh my god. Okay, we definitely need some walls. Go. Boom. Turn, and now we gotta go straight. Too much pace. Okay, well the highway definitely works, just my ice boating skills are questionable. This is like my 10th attempt at trying to get a clean run, and I've had glass panes all over here so I can't actually fall off. Nice. Beautiful. Look how beautiful this tree is, and look how easily we can access it now with this portal and iceboat highway. So let's go ahead and build more iceboat highways, and you already know we gotta make them look nice too. I love how there's just a bunch of fires from all the gas that have been abusing me this entire episode. Oh yeah, and if you're wondering why I built 2 nether hubs, basically it's because I didn't want to move this portal. But our nether hub is now done, and with that I've successfully completed every objective I'd planned within these 5,000 days, which means I can finally reveal that secret objective I've been working towards. You see, in the first 2,000 days of this world, transformations of different biomes were few and far between. However, during the events of this movie, you may have noticed the heavy emphasis on transforming biomes. The deep dark, every single forest, the lush and dripstone caves, and the basalt deltas. And that's because it all builds up to one of my next big goals for this series: transform every single biome in Minecraft Hardcore. So despite all the incredible builds we've done so far, it seems some of the biggest transformations are yet to come. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this movie. I put a ton of time and effort into making changes and linking all the episodes together. So if you did enjoy, I'd really appreciate if you left a like on the video. And if you want to play on this world for yourself, then be sure to check out the channel memberships. But that's going to be it from me, and I will see you guys for the world tour, which will be out soon. Peace.